the Google Donkey Deliverer.
Just when I think, chat, they're not gonna pull me back, they reel me back in every time. I felt like I was gonna be free. I was gonna have a day off. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, fucking right, dude. Every time. There's always something I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. Nope. I get roped right back in. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Or should I say good afternoon? Happy time zone. Welcome back to another episode of the vtuber review. Why are we having a vtuber review again? Well, chat, there is a new Sykkuno docu that just dropped. And this one is actually about somebody that was a minor, guys, 17 years old. We gotta go through it and see if there are any inappropriate, yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving that nobody wants. It's like socks for Father's Day. It's just nobody wants that. Like, yeah, I feel like this document is a lot more damning. There's some certain stuff in there that I'm like, why would you type that? So, yeah, I feel like this one is really, really bad. Mujin apology just reminds me that even though content creators are technically journalists by design, pointing out ethics and practices, absolutely. I mean, I will say this, Sigma, I feel like Mujin's apology was, in my opinion, I felt like it was fantastic. I felt like it was a great response. I felt like his apology was wonderful. He really addressed kind of all the issues. I know some people are going to be like, no, well, you know, how dare you apologize? I'm not taking your apologies. So it doesn't matter, right? If you apologize, it's never good enough. If you try to grow, well, you didn't grow fast enough, right? Or you didn't apologize early enough, or whatever, right? Whatever your apology is, it's never good enough, right, chat? But I felt like personally the apology was good. And we will look at that today because, you know, Mujin does talk about some of the terminology, stuff like that as well. What was the whole thing with Mujin about? So basically, Volcano Lord, a lot of people were upset. A lot of people were upset with Mujin because he used the word predator in his video, right? Which I feel like, again, yes, or not hypothetically, by definition, right? That is a correct terminology, but, you know, I guess the average impression of that word is sexual predator or, you know, like a pedophile, right? So, I mean, like, I do see why I didn't. And it's okay if you wanted to, right? If anything, I think that it's okay to apologize or say, I want to do better in the future, right? And I have a lot of respect for that. Yeah, you did not apologize to Powder, which I thought was probably very purposeful. I imagine that there was probably a reason for that, chat. So, I mean, he did say that he has future content coming out. So I'm going to kind of hold on I'm going to hold off on that one for now because I feel like he's probably got some shit that he's going to pull out later. But, you know, we'll leave that to him, right? That's not really our business for now. I don't know. I'm sure he's got a reason for what he said, chat. So we'll see. I'm not going to justify what he said, of course, because I do feel like that I'm not sure. And this was a crash out, but I think you get exactly what I mean, chat. I think that, he did not apologize to her for some reason, unbeknownst to us. Guess we'll see, chat. They're not doing immediate release of info you got early. Did not appear biased. That's always a good takeaway. Yeah, I agree with you, Walk. Sadly, that's just kind of the name of the game now. But I think that that's something I would consider, right? I mean, for me, normally as well, you guys know my rule. I wait 24 to 48 hours once the story comes out to kind of talk about it, right? I'll give you updates as it goes along pretty immediately, but for the most part, for me, I like to wait as well. And I think just sadly, people will do that to you, right? As much as the crash out is pretty questionable towards Powder herself also has made very ill-advised posts. That's just her. I don't think she deserves an apology back considering the passive-aggressive nature it is. I guess we'll see, Sigma. I mean, like, look, you guys know how I feel about Powder, right? I'm not a Powder fan. Obviously, this crash out means something, right? So, for me, I'm just going to sit back and kind of wait till I see what's going on with it before I really comment further. I'm going to say this, guys. Normally when Mujin says something, he's got a reason for it. So I want to put that up on the shelf for now. Again, as soon as I watched the apology last night, I'm like, my first thought literally was Powder is going to be pissed off that there's no apology. And it was right. I was absolutely right. He was not happy about it. Hey, what's up, Kojo? How are you? And she also made it political, which was weird because I don't really know what that had to do with anything, but nonetheless, here we are, guys. Yo, what's up, Pip? How are you, sweetheart? I'm having a good one. Oh my god. I love my water over here. Hold on.
Seeing you always makes me happy and brightens my day. I hope we can hang out in Discord later. I will try to talk more if that is okay.
No, you're good. I don't think I'm going to be hanging out in Discord today.
With
I actually have a
you
long stream
and my
today.
fellow kingdomers. You are epic. Lovers.
Yeah, we have a long stream today, chat. So, originally, I was going to only stream my Super Battle Golf with some friends. However, she made a video of the situation and seems to be a fan of Tectone. I mean, bro, were you surprised by that? Like, I'm pretty sure their morals align, right? I'm not surprised by that at all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really not surprised by that. I like Powder. I mean, that's fine if you do, right? You're allowed to your own opinion. I'm not a Powder fan. You guys know this. I think that she's done some diabolical stuff in the past, so all I can say is educate yourself and, come to your own decision. If you want to support her, that's your prerogative, right? My prerogative is I won't. Powder's one of those people that will make anything political to cater to her fan base. I don't know. I'm interested to see what Mujin has, apparently. I guess we'll find out. Same here, base tuxedo. You remember yesterday I was like, nah, this situation is probably going to die off. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, I was wrong on that one, chat. Boy, have I been wrong. But today, chat, we're going to be doing, of course, our news catch-up. And then we're going to be hopping into Super Battle Golf later. So, kind of going to be a longer stream today, for sure. I feel like that would have been a perfect ending. To be honest, it would have. What has Patter done in the past? I mean, I'm sure, Crow, have you seen all the racist, like, meme stuff that she put out? Did you see when a person allegedly, quote-unquote, copied her and she wished harm upon them? Yeah, there's kind of like a long list. I'm sure that, I imagine that's what Mujin's getting together, but there was a day I actually talked about all this stuff, but there's kind of a long list. Mujin rage baiting the rage baiting the rage baiter is pretty funny. Oh, you're new to VTubing, got you. Yeah. Bro, there's like, Powder's kind of like a long history of stuff like, all the way back when she did like VR chat stuff, all the way to like, when she came on my stream, I talked to her, she said that she's very upset somebody was quote-unquote copying her, which they weren't. She said, literally, like, I wish harm upon them, right? Like, literally said those words. So I was like, what? And then on top of that, of course, we have, like, more of, like, some, I mean, she'll say they're edgy memes, but I'll be honest, I'll look at this, I'm like, dude, that's racist, right? So there's, these memes that she's put out there that are really, like, fucked up in my opinion. I think most people would agree. But I definitely just, encourage you to do your research and, decide what you want to do with it, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do. All I can do is tell you, this is what she's done, this is what happened, here's my opinion, and then, that's it. We had her on your stream. I did Crow. This was about almost 2 years ago. Actually, Crow, do you watch, Rev Says Tetsu? Have you watched, Rev? Rev actually did a video on my interview, and also about Powder as well. You should go look it up. Yeah, Rev did, like, a whole video about it. That's totally cool. I mean, I wouldn't really blame you if you didn't, right? But Rev has, like, a video on it. I never made a video about it because I wasn't trying to, like, I don't know, capitalize on that or anything like that. Like, I don't really like to do that kind of stuff. Is it just me or does she give Elfin style vibes? I don't really know Elfin, so it's hard for me to say because by the time that I learned about Elfin, he was already, like, out the door, right? Which apparently Elfin has come back, but... Yo, what's up, Cruz? How are you? I ordered chicken with some sriracha, but they dropped a cap in my food. Wait, what? No, that sucks. Don't let a VTuber watch his Vex Smoke. Gotcha. I was thinking I was only just a mod at that time. Elfin Saya vibes. Yeah, Elfin is kind of, like, very, like... She crosses a line of, like, edgy and, like... saying some very controversial stuff, so a lot of people kind of compare them. At best, Powder is pretty much a bitchel line stepper for the sake of it. At best, yeah, at best. I think it's a good way to put it, Sigma. But, I mean, we're not really here to talk about Powder, right? We're here to talk more about what's going on. Of course, there's Sykkuno and his newest victim that came out as well. Yeah, she literally just said it
that day,
in 4K.
And I can
it's kind of wild.
that Powder did come into Elara's stream and admitted that on for
Yeah, that was
Kay.
kind of crazy, Kuro. Which, it's very strange to me that nobody ever mentions that, right? They try, or she like, I don't think she's ever addressed it, ever. As far as I know. I mean, maybe she has, so I don't watch her streams anymore. Yeah, I didn't really like her whole thing about Lucy as well. There was kind of some, I don't know, some things to break down in there, but yeah, what's up, DB Beef? How are you? Powder Night, snorting that, bruh. Yeah, what's up, Demon Beef? Thank you for the tier 3. I appreciate you. Well, guys, we're going to be streaming for a while today, so sit back and relax. We got a lot of news. We got a collab later, and definitely the timer is going to hit 0, so yes! Finally, after all this hard work, guys, I got it on the last day of Subathon. Who's going to win 1,000 today, chat? Is it going to be you? I'm going to go curl up with Pocopia. Hell yeah. Powder, I barely know her. Boo this man, boo this man.
Brother, this guy
How's your day been so far? Honestly, pretty relaxing.
Why you always lying? Oh my god.
My favorite song.
Fucking lying.
My favorite song. I was gonna be productive, but I don't want to do anything on my PC now. Yeah, I can understand Ian. Yeah, Ian kind of had a scare moment of getting compromised on Discord. I can totally see where she's coming from. Yo, what's up, Jack? How are you? Thank you for the raid, sweetheart. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is elara, the Heavy Metal. Good to see all of y'all. Welcome in. Thanks for being here, Jack. How are you? Live, too. I know. I'm like, why didn't you click on that live? This is why I just don't try to look at my Discord while I'm live. I'm like, I'm not looking at it unless there's some kind of like big information or something like that, right? Or somebody like drops a link that I'm like, oh yeah, send it my way. But other than that, no, I try to stay away from it. I'm doing good playing some Mouse PI. Oh yes, it's so good, right? Jack, I ended up playing it on Thursday. It was awesome. Had such a good time. The subathon is never ending. So chat, we did a sub goal yesterday, which means I have to do a bare fist only run in Dark Souls game or Elden Ring. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do yet. I don't really know which one is gonna be the toughest one. Yeah, I don't know which one's the toughest, which is the easiest. I'm definitely gonna do the easiest one, but it's gonna be a run of the century, chat. Yeah, that's gonna be a really, really tough one. Pistol's boss says I am, but I gotta do it bare fist. I have no weapon. Dark Souls, I don't think it's a toxic game, but I can't use that. Yeah, Mecha, because that's a fist weapon. I can only use bare fists. Yeah, I think Elden Ring is probably gonna be the hardest one. I think that I have an idea. Oh yeah, he's been doing that for a while time. I think I have an idea, but I don't know, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna do a little research, but I do have my schedule for next week, actually. You guys want to see it? Want to see what's coming up? Actually, they changed something last second. My bad, mods. Poor Walk, I keep changing my schedule, like, last second, because stuff kind of like I make plans and then they change and stuff like that. Yeah, I think you're fine, too. All right, here's my schedule, chat. Yeah, it's gonna be, kind of a gaming-heavy, schedule this week. Let's see, we got Monday memes, we have Dark Souls, bare fists only on Tuesday. Thursday, we're gonna do Frostpunk 2 with chat integration. Friday is Super Battle Golf. Tea time, and the news as always. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm very excited. I'm somewhat excited about next week, but also nervous. Why is that? Yes, I know. I'm so excited for tea time. Tea time's always awesome. We get some great guests this time. A lot of new guests. But at times they say no, they're not. Walk. I'll give it to you later. I was trying to do it before stream started, but I couldn't do it quick enough. So I was like, okay, whatever. Where did someone even get bare fist? Well, no, Captain, like, not like bare fist, like the bear. I'm talking about like your fist without any other weapons attached. Just your fucking bare fist. Not B-E-A-R fist. I'm talking bare fist, B-A-R-E. Although that would be a really funny way to cheese it. There's actually a bare fist item inside of Elden Ring. Yeah, we should do that, chat. We should get the bare fist, and that should be our run. That'd be funny. How are you gonna beat the statues in long range? Lightning attacks and a long staff weapon. Wait, what? What statues? Which one? Which game are you talking about, Chrome? That would be such a cop-out, like, actually. That would be such a cop-out. I get it, you can either just drop it and I'll do it or send it to me. I'll do it. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'll let you know. Oh, Dark Souls 1. Yeah, I mean, you just get close to him. You just punch him. Although I think just like bare fist in Dark Souls 1 still don't do that much damage. I think I might have to do Dark Souls 3. I think Dark Souls 3 has the most damage. But I don't know. I'm going to look it up. We'll see. Demon Souls? Hell no. I'm not doing Demon Souls. Wait, are they actually good in Demon Souls? I don't know. Maybe I'll do Dark Souls 2. Maybe Dark Souls 2 is the easiest. I don't know. There's got to be something. There's got to be something that can make it, like, easier, right? Like, exactly, Spectre. There's got to be a way to do it. Looking into stuff. I don't know. I'll do my research. I'll find something, chat. I'll find something. I'm sure there is a way to make this run plausible, right? Might be the worst option. Oh, no. It took me hours to beat the statues, and that was with the lightning spear. Are you talking about the ones that are in the statues? Are you talking about the gargoyles? You struggled with the gargoyles in Dark Souls 1? I'm not a Soulsborne guy, so my apologies. No, you're good. It's just it's gonna require a lot of research on my end, but I mean that's the thing with any like Souls-related game or anything you do with Souls-related games, chat. You always gotta do research. You always gotta plan. But I mean that's how I've done everything well. What's up, Gamma? What's up, John? That's how I do all my Soulsborne runs. Lots of research. I know the ones with the staff near the garden. Oh, okay. You're talking about Darkwood Depths. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but like, those are just normal enemies. Like, they have good armor. I don't know. I'll figure it out, Chad. I'll figure it out. Fuck, I feel like I'm gonna be a legend doing a bare fist only run though. I better get some fucking like, I better get some clout if I actually do this. Hey, jump. Yep, I know which ones you're talking about. Yep, they're not even that bad. Like, what are your thoughts on people modding non-Souls like games to add Souls like gameplay? Like on one collection of Minecraft mods. I mean, I think it's kind of cool, right? Souls games are so influential. I'm really not surprised that more people do that, right, Noctis? I did see this one thing one time. I don't know if it's real, but it looked like Legos. It looked like Legos with Soul stuff. It looked so cool. I do a tank build so I don't roll. Well, there's your problem right there. Yeah, so to say, okay, Dark Souls 1, I'm pretty sure requires a lot of, like, rolling. Like, you can trade because the damage output isn't crazy, but I would say what I'm nervous about next week. I'm probably just getting nervous for no reason. I just can't figure out my schedule for the next 2 weeks because I have to go back to work. Gotcha. Cameron's the first game that comes to mind with that. I agree. I agree with that too, Micro. But I think it's kind of cool. I think it's fun when people do that kind of stuff. I cannot believe, though, that we have a whole nother docu. And this one, chat, this one's pretty long. I mean, this one's like, I think it's like 50 pages. Biggest game people talking about this, Bloodborne being the best game. Honestly, Bloodborne is up there for me. I would say, you know, Elden Ring is still my top. Well, Bloodborne is right behind it. I would say for me, like, my tier list is like, let's see. I'm not gonna count Sekiro because I don't really consider Sekiro a Soulsborne game. Like, to me, it's just so different. So I don't really consider that. All right, let's see. Yeah, let me rank them for you. So I say Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls 2. Yes, I put Demon Souls above Dark Souls 2. That's how much I don't like Dark Souls 2. Watch, I have to play Dark Souls 2 on Tuesday, watch. That's probably going to be the easiest one. Speaking of Souls games, I recently started, Neo was one of my other VTubers who's suffering through it. I've heard it's pretty good. Fair, right? I don't know, Sigma. I do not. One of them has to be the worst. I think it's Dark Souls 2. No, actually, I'll be honest. I really want to play the remake of Demon Souls, but I don't have a PS5, so I can't really do that. But probably more than likely, Demon Souls is the worst. Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, Sekiro, Hello Kitty, Island Adventure, Bloodborne. Bro, you're putting Bloodborne last? What is wrong with you? I mean, Demon Souls isn't bad, especially since the remake added Omni Dodge. Yeah, I think it's probably would make it better because when I played it, when I was like a teenager, right? I played along with my brother, and I just remember the dodging sucked. They don't bother with a PS5 right now. They're like, yeah, exactly. I'm about to say, I don't even want a PS5. Hey, who the fuck is gonna put Bloodborne last on the list? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now that makes sense. Hello Kitty Island Adventure is more fun than that Bloodborne. I will fucking kick you in your head in Minecraft. What's wrong with you guys? Bloodborne is pink. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. You ever experienced gamer rage before? Yes, Volcano. When I used to play Smash Bros on stream, I had one gamer rage moment. It was so bad. But when I get mad, I just straight up get very quiet. I just stop talking. So if you ever want to know if I'm mad, I just stop talking.
Unfortunately, it's overshadowed by all this unyielding rage!
Yeah, I just stop talking. So if you ever want to know if I get quiet, that's why I'm really mad. That's what will get me every time. Wait, then you're always mad at me? That is not true. That is not true. I always talk to you 24/7. That was a fucking lie. That was a fucking lie. Oh my god. I'm doing good, Pirate. How are you? Hello, I hope you're having a great day and a great stream. Yo, what's up? I'm doing good. How are you, sweetheart? We're just vibing today. I'm gonna say vibing. We're gonna be talking about some VTuber news, so I guess it's not really vibing. It's more like, holy fucking shit, what the hell is going on at this point? I'm trying to see my voice. I'm mad at you. Yes. Okay, so I'm always trying to see my voice, right, guys? That's like one big thing for me. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna try to like take it easy and not talk a lot. And he is like, you hate me. I'm like, what do you mean? Not necessarily vibing today. It's all about thinking of God and praying at this point, especially the Google Docky gods. But chat, without further ado, everybody do me a favor and type news, and let's hop the right fuck into it. I mean, like, I can understand that, Crumb. You just have to have good armor, right? You gotta be able to trade stuff. So let's get into it, chat. Absolutely wilding out here today. So I gotta point this out, guys. You know, we've had the Deku apology, right? Which was absolute fucking cinema. If you haven't seen that, Deku's voice actor actually read the Sykkuno apology. But he did it in Deku's voice, and it was absolute peak, chat. But now we have Fluttershy's, or somebody that does Fluttershy's voice actually reading the apology. So here's another one for you, chat.
Most of all to my girlfriend. I am so sorry I put you through so much. I never want to make these mistakes again and hurt you and the people I care about.
This is peak.
I was unfaithful and I own and fully admit to that. I lied to people and told them I was single, which I know is not right.
I love this.
I'm sorry to all the people that I hurt by doing this. The following is not an attempt to minimize what I've done. However, I've seen false accusations about me that are not true. I cannot allow false accusations and such extreme labels to be placed on me. I do understand that the people making these claims did it from a place of hurt, so please do not send any more hate to anyone. I just want the situation to get better, and I wish them the best. My girlfriend and I didn't respond quickly because
I think the Vine booms actually add to this a lot.
I would like to
yeah, this is literally like a new meme format, and I think it's so fucking funny. So, of course, we have Deku, and now we have Fluttershy as well. Yeah, the Deku one is absolute cinema. That is one of my favorite internet memes of all time at this point. No, this is actually Anoko. She's a voice actress, so this is her. No, she actually did this. I guess she does Fluttershy, or I mean, she says she's a voice actress, right? So I would imagine she does some official stuff. There's also Light Yagami Part 1 and 2. Wait, is there actually? Hold on, I gotta find this. Wait, I haven't seen the... Oh my god, are you kidding?
Okay. Just start writing and keep it simple. Don't overthink it. No. Every word matters. This is not an apology. This is control.
Bro, why is this
Perception
so
is
actually
everything.
accurate?
First, I would like to apologize to everyone I have disappointed. That sounds okay, right? Not too
That's
strong,
killing me,
not
dude.
too weak.
With the
Let's keep
music
it
in the
going.
back.
Most of all, to my girlfriend. I'm so sorry I put you through so much.
The music is perfect, too.
And
It's
I don't
killing
want to
me.
make these mistakes again. It hurts you. The
Oh
people I
my
care about.
god.
I wasn't faithful. I know and fully admit to that. Direct admission disarms critics. If you confess to the obvious, you
Wow,
confirm
this
what
is
remains
so
unspoken.
perfect, dude.
This is perfect. I lied to people and told them I was single,
Oh my god.
which I know is not right. They all know I'm a player, right? And I'm sorry to all of the people that I hurt by doing this. Emotions must appear sincere.
And having like the Light versus Kira like back and forth is
Not exaggerated.
absolute cinema.
Measured. So the following's not an attempt to minimize what I've done. Yes, shift the narrative. However, I have seen false accusations about me
I don't
that are
like this.
not
This is
true.
crazy.
I can't allow false accusations and such extreme labels.
This is legitimately what Light would
To be
do,
placed
by the
on
way.
me. Although,
Because his ego, that's
I do
ultimately his
understand.
downfall, right?
but the people making these claims did it from a place of hurt. So please,
This
do
is
not send any more hate
insane.
to anyone. Strategic empathy. You appear compassionate and discouraging escalation.
Oh my god.
This reduces backlash. I just want the situation to get better. And I wish him the best.
This is whoever fucking
My girlfriend and
whoever
I
fucking
didn't respond
made
quickly
this.
because we
It's
were
a
all
fucking
depressed.
god.
I
This
was
is
too busy talking
crazy.
to other women. What the fuck?
Oh my god, dude. That is wild. Yeah, but this is where everybody was like calling him Deku. So the fact that the Deku VA got involved is absolutely nuts. Holy shit, that's peak cinema, guys. That's crazy.
Okay,
Wow. I tip my hat to you, sir. That was absolutely glorious. Holy fuck. So, chat, to get serious here, to serious up for a second. Oh, yeah, we talked about that yesterday, Roy. So, let's talk about for you for a second a new Google docu that is dropped by Iceland. Iceland going on to say, after reading both the private and public apologies, I do not feel reassured. This is part of why I'm choosing to share my experience now. So we have somebody else coming out, guys, to drop their own Google Docu in their experience as well. I also believe people can make more informed decisions when they have more context, not less. I agree with that, right? Like, Kuna became my friend when I was 17 and he was 28. So again, chat, this is still quite an age gap, right? And I don't know why he has a habit of constantly, like, I forget what people call it, right? But they're like waiting at the finish line. And I basically he's like spawn camping is what they call it. Because basically like she's not quite an adult yet. She's still a minor. So he kind of forms a relationship with somebody that is a minor. And then once they become an adult, it seems like he kind of pursues it in a sexual manner. Again, like, I don't know if we have enough proof to really say that that is 100% a pattern, but nonetheless, it still looks like there is he's done this a few times, right? So I guess you could call it a pattern. But we're gonna read this chat and talk about it. So at least for me, right, censored, it's sus. Nothing inappropriate happened at that time, but a history shaped the trust I had in him later. So here we go, guys. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, I think that this I think that this does show that he has a pattern of interacting with people inappropriately, right? So there's definitely more people to add to the list. I don't know if I want to say that he is that he's interacting with this minor inappropriately, but I've only scanned through this document last night, guys. I didn't read the full thing, so that's what we're gonna do together. So we will decide together, chat, if that's gonna be the case. If he did interact inappropriately with a minor or not. So we really held off on the word, I guess like sexual predator, like interacting with a minor. We only had one instance where we thought maybe it was. That was disproven. I think there is a pattern, right? I think there is a pattern at this point of it, at least him being inappropriate with people, right? Now, as far as doing it with a bunch of minors, I don't think there's enough information on that yet, but that could change as we read through the documents. So here we go, guys. Let's get through it. Let's go.
This document is a personal account of my experience. A lot of our communication occurred over calls, so there is limited written evidence. I have tried to include as much as I can. Readers can use their own judgment. Before people read this and dismiss it as more of the same drama, part of why I am making my experience public now is because both his private and public apologies have left me feeling unsettled. To me, they have often felt more like explanations or excuses than meaningful accountability.
Yeah, I could see that. Looking at his stuff, I could totally see that.
Because I do not personally feel reassured that there has been genuine reflection, and I would rather others in the space have more information than less.
I mean, that's super fair, right? Looking at the stuff that we know now as well, kind of based on what Bowett said, it looked like he cheated, kind of got with a girlfriend, they reconciled the first time, and then he went and immediately started doing this again, or maybe he already had it to the side and just kept it going, but regardless, it doesn't seem like Sykkuno has a lot of ability to kind of look inward, that self-reflection, and take action based on that. He doesn't really seem to care. So I do agree that there is definitely a lack of meaningful accountability.
This isn't meant to promote harassment,
this is Iceland,
or negativity towards anyone involved. I'm sharing it to provide context for my experience and to highlight patterns that stood out to me.
I mean, and it's always
appreciated, right, chat? After reading all the public
chat?
statements from other girls, I've found myself reflecting on these events and how I feel. I understand his girlfriend did not want the initial story to be made public, and I reached out to her beforehand as a courtesy. With so
That's
much
really
in
nice.
the open, I feel that I have a right to share my story as I've been left feeling used and misled. I will be talking about some very personal things here which are quite frankly embarrassing to share, but I feel are pertinent to understanding why I feel so deeply affected by this.
You know, I kind of wonder as well. I understand the girlfriend did not want this initial story to be made public, and I reached out to her beforehand as a courtesy. I wonder what her answer was, right? She said, I feel I have the right to share my story as I've been feeling used and misled. So I wonder, I mean, I guess, I don't want to, I don't want to take a swing for the fences here, but I almost feel like this kind of implies that she didn't give her blessing, but she still wanted to share it anyways. I don't know. What do y'all feel about that? Very interesting for sure. I would have loved to know what the girlfriend said.
TLDR, I became friends with him when I was a minor, 17, and we remained friendly for several years. More recently, he made advances toward me and told me he was not involved with anyone else.
I mean, why are we surprised by that, chat?
I later found out that was not true. Had I known, I wouldn't have become involved beyond a friendship due to past trauma. I'm sharing this because, from what I experienced and what I have heard, this did not feel like an isolated situation.
Oh, it's absolutely not.
Also, I know mucho texto and pages, but fear not, most of it is just Discord DMS. Sort of.
Chat, you know, I became friends with her when she was a minor, did make advances, said that he was single. This is absolutely, you know, again, the normal MO for Sykkuno. This is another person coming up with their experience about Sykkuno as well. So what is our count up to? I mean, we're at 18 now.
How I met Sykkuno, we
19?
met through a mutual friend who connected us, and he reached out to me first.
I mean, it's
this
wild.
This was before I became a VTuber, so I have
chat.
censored my old account's name and profile picture.
Okay.
I want to be very clear that he did not do anything explicit with me while I was a minor.
Right.
Our conversations were casual. We talked about games like R-Nights and Animal Crossing, played Ark together, and just chatted. I'm including some screenshots for context. I'm including this because I think it is relevant to the overall dynamic. There is about an 11-year age difference between us, so when I was 17 he was around 28. All screenshots in this section are from when I was underage.
So, I mean, she was a minor still, right? When he was interacting with her. Drops an Arkanites Gacha experience video. She says, LMAO, but wait, why are you messaging me? Sykkuno says, I heard you like Arkanites and you were blank friends. Sorry, never mind. Iceland says, no, I do. I just didn't expect you to talk to me. Yes, I'm a slave for all the waifus and husbandos here. Those my wallet BS like our nights and I am blank friend. Hi. Sykkuno says, LOL, alright, I'll add you. And they talk for like 2 hours on a phone call. About 4K hours on it. It is a PvP god, so I'll get carried. Sykkuno says, oh god, yeah, I actually, Iceland says, it's a fun game, I don't think I'm that fun. Sykkuno says, I don't know anybody who plays it. I bought the game a while ago to play with a friend I had, but he never talked to me again. So, Iceland says, you're super nice and easy to talk to, though, so thank you. Sykkuno says, that was actually my first time playing, LOL. Of course, Iceland says, oh no, I'm sorry. Sykkuno says, it's okay, don't worry. Iceland says, well, you have me now. The only reason I will stop talking to you is if I get kidnapped. But it goes for all my friends, really, because I have nothing to do but talk to them. So yeah, if I don't respond, call the FBI. Sykkuno says, I'm alright, unless I'm the one doing the kidnapping. JK, LOL, JK, LOL. What? Bro, that's weird. Why would... Nah, you know that's not right, especially in this dynamic. As you were an adult, she's a minor. Yeah, I can already see why people are having a problem with this document. That's weird. That's a weird comment. She says, put me in a suitcase. Sykkuno says, what? Iceland says, I will legally go to Cali, no need to pay. It's called saving money. Sykkuno says, LOL. Iceland says, at least you would need to fight for arm room. Always get stuck in the middle on planes. Finally, I have a space all to myself. First class flying. Sykkuno says, I don't know, my suitcase is large enough to LOL. Iceland says, I'm just sending you random videos. I see. Honestly. I know, right? Noki, that's been like the craziest part about all this, to be honest. Sykkuno says, so this is what you're into. She says, wait, did I send something wrong? I'm sorry. Sykkuno says, you didn't. I was messing with you a little, sorry. Nah, dude, this is wrong. Sykkuno says, you didn't, I was just messing with you. He says, oh, I didn't know, it's fine, I'm just, the joke's over my head. Nah, dude, nah. So this is what you're into. You didn't, I was just messing with you a little. Here's a link to the video I was responding to. Okay, let's take a look at the video, guys.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
What the fuck? What's special? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking. No, fuck you.
Motherfucker!
Fuck you.
The fuck do you want?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. 私も fuck you. Fuck you, no fuck you.
So it's here like fuck you, etc. And he says, so this is what you're into. I mean, I guess I can understand maybe he meant like vulgar, like, I don't know, VTubers or something like that. There could be a lot divulged from this. I think that like optically that kind of looks bad. I don't know. I'll put the one up on the shelf for now, but I think if there's more, it's definitely gonna add weight to it.
I was a
You know what I
minor
mean?
at this time. I understand at the end of the day these were just jokes. But looking back, him making jokes that I now feel have
Right,
sexual
yeah,
connotations
exactly.
from
I
the
can
get-go
see that.
feels very off-putting.
And I can see why she would take it that way, right? So, I don't know. Maybe he didn't mean it that way. I'll put that one aside. But like I said, if there's more, this will add more weight to future claims, right? Sykkuno says, what? So you're going to pull me like one time? Then a dinosaur would kill me. So, LOL, JK, wait. How are you responding while streaming? Also, your hair looks nice today. She says, multitasking. Thinks I didn't really do anything to it. Yes, with speed. Sykkuno says, oh god, it's naturally looks nice. Think it'll look like a hobo because of the quarantine and your haircut, LOL. I guess they were sharing pictures or had webcam or something. She says, my hair used to be pretty short, but now it's growing out. Your hair is fine. What do you mean? It does look like it annoys your eyes, though, but other than that, Sykkuno says, oh god, do you prefer your hair long? Do you prefer your hair short or long? She says, oh, me, short, easier to maintain. I don't like, swap my face as much. On me, short, easier to maintain. It doesn't, like, bother my face, right? Sykkuno says, oh, yeah, shorter's nice, I think. He says, I used to have shorter hair, super long hair, and was so hard to wash and maintain. What about you? Sykkuno says, oh, I prefer shorter too, actually. I think long hair can look nice, but shorter hair is nicer for hugs and stuff. I don't know, both are good. I'm sorry, what the fuck? Nah, dude, no. Nah, dude, no. He's clearly... Okay, if you don't understand what he's talking about here, he's talking about shorter hair is easier to, pull out of your face, right, chat? It's easier to stay out of your face because you're doing certain things, chat. Nah, this is wildly inappropriate. This is wildly inappropriate. Nah, dude. Alright, now we've crossed the line, chat. Now we've crossed the line. Now we've crossed the line, chat, where we have looked at stuff and been like, okay, this guy never interacted inappropriately with minors. No, this right here, dude. Nah, dude. You're cooked. You're cooked. This is inappropriate to say no minor. Especially with the stuff earlier, like, I think looking at his history, looking at context, yeah, he is absolutely cooked now. This is such a bad look. I was very surprised that despite all this, Sykkuno's partner does the same with him if they repair a relationship, then good for them. Out for the best. Exactly, Amanda, but what the fuck is this? Absolutely not. He says, I meant for you. Cap, sorry, but yes, both are good. He says, oh, for me, I prefer shorter-ish, I guess. Not like super short, but not like super long. He says, fair, so like normal length guy here. Sykkuno says, oh, yeah, normal, I guess. I don't know. That's not very plus ultra. Oh my god. Yeah, Zio, really Sykkuno was feeling those Deku vibes. He really thought his PP was one for all, that's for sure. I fucking hate it. I hate it here. Holy, one for all. He did. Oh my god. That's fair, Chad, that's fair. Okay, to be honest though, that was actually a pretty good joke. Like, we gotta try to laugh through the pain on this one because this is fucked up, chat. When did he find out she was a minor though? I don't know, Hermit. I mean, I guess we gotta look into it a little bit more, right? So, what I'm saying here right now is that this is wildly inappropriate to interact with a minor, right? So, I mean, we still have to look through the rest of the document, but, he's super cooked if he knew that she was 17, right? So, we'll be looking for that.
During this time I was a facecam streamer. He would sometimes pop into my stream. I never thought much about his comments on my appearance while I was a minor, but going back and reading things like shorter hair is nicer for hugs and stuff, and
here it is.
In it makes
Literally
me feel
the
disgusted.
next screenshot. Literally the next
Hair
screenshot.
at this time.
Hey there, you were invited to my 18th birthday party. This was 0419. 0416. Okay, so he said this stuff 3 days before. I'm gonna assume it's in this order, right? Oh, she probably she probably blanked this because she didn't want to dox her birthday. Yeah, there it is. There's your answer though. Yeah, either you invited my 18th birthday party since I can't have one IRL. Be having one of my friends in chat. We'll be doing doodles, jackbox, and other fun stuff. So we knew she was a minor. I decided if you can't have a party, may as well have a big one online. That makes sense. This was COVID era, right, chat? If you free, you're warmly welcome. To come. When is this? Sunday. Oh god, it's 5 a.m. my time. You can come near the end, maybe. Yeah, because it goes on to like 10 p.m., which is 2 p.m. your time, I think. Oh, yeah, should be near the end then. Appreciate it. Obviously, don't feel obligated to. I totally understand. So, he made those comments to her while she was a minor. I know what's gonna happen with this, right? Here's exactly what's gonna happen, chat. People are gonna be like, oh, you blanked this out. So you're trying to hide the dates. When she's trying just to protect herself, and not dox her birthday, right? I can already see people naysaying this already. And I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, oh, well, you said your birthday or something on, like, social media somewhere. To be like, but is that actually her birthday? You know what I mean?
Here, I invite him to my 18th birthday celebration. I censored the months because I don't want my exact birth date to be public knowledge. I want to keep as much personally identifiable information as possible private, given how I am sharing so many other deeply personal things further in the document.
Sykkuno says, same to you though, you seem super friendly. Don't let people, take advantage or something too. What the fuck? There's a certain level of irony to this. Bro, this is so weird. This is so weird. He knew she was a minor. Making comments like that, that's
Why I
wildly
trusted him, I knew him for over 5
Wildly
years and we would
inappropriate.
communicate sporadically throughout the entire time and play games here and there. I had never heard anything bad about him. I had only positive interactions with him. He was a respected content creator in the space
Yeah,
with a lot
especially
of
during that
friends.
time, during COVID, that was the height
His
of his
persona
career.
on streams was very wholesome. He was flirty, but nothing over the top, and honestly I usually didn't even pick up on it.
I want to talk about this for a
When he became
second.
popular, he started inviting me into group lobbies. After that, we ended up gaming together pretty regularly, both on and off stream. Sometimes it was just the two of us, other times one of his friends would join in. He also opened up to me about personal things. His family, his childhood, and experiences he hadn't shared publicly. At one point he even gave me his phone number, which felt like a clear sign that he trusted me.
I wonder what he put her in his phone number to hide it from his girlfriend. So read this, right? His persona in streams is very wholesome. He was flirty, but nothing over the top, and also he didn't even pick up on it. This is his MO, chat. He's always been that innocent type. Again, the Sykkuno Midoriya, right? Just be like, oh, well, I would love to get to know you, Ochako. Like, you know what I mean? Just very like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, very just like nice and very golden retriever-esque. So this is his persona, his MO. This is how he works his way into it, right? Seems very trusting. He's kind of like a little flirty, but it's nothing too much. So it never really calls a big amount of attention until you look at all of the little pieces together. And this is why it matters. But yeah, I mean, like, they were clearly close, right? She had his phone number. You know what I mean? So relevant personal context. Let's take a look at this chat.
I dropped out of school at the age of 15 due to being extremely mentally unwell. I am not a very balanced individual, and anyone who has interacted with me for longer than 10 minutes would be able to tell. I struggle with autism, ADHD, OCD, GAD, and an eating disorder. These are not meme illnesses I've been collecting like Pokemon badges, but real conditions that have been medically diagnosed by professionals. I would love nothing more than to be a normal fucking individual. I also have the self-confidence of a wet rat. I was very honest about this with him and talked about my low self-esteem and body issues. I'm not sharing this as an excuse or a way to remove myself of accountability, but I think it adds context as to why I feel I am more vulnerable to being taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
I struggle to understand people and I was bullied badly before I dropped out of school. I have never had a boyfriend, been in a proper long-term relationship, or slept with anyone.
I have little to no real-world experience. I trusted Sykkuno, despite deep trauma that I'm not going to air out. And I feel disgusted looking in the mirror sometimes knowing what I sent to him. And that was just another goal. Again, Chad, this really shows, you know, she was a minor. She didn't really know exactly what was going on. She's never been in a proper relationship. She kind of has some, you know, a lot of mental unwellness, right? And he took advantage of her, you know? And I think just looking at the entirety of all of the context together, this really is starting to paint a narrative of how this guy does. People call him a spawn camper. I think I'm starting to see why people say that more.
How the relationship became more than friendship. We mostly interacted in group settings, but once it was just the two of us after a third person left. During that conversation, his interest seemed to shift when he learned I have never had sex. It was during these calls that he started making romantic advances. I mentioned I was up late due to medication side effects, and when I said I was on the pill, he seemed surprised and assumed I was sexually active.
Why
I clarified
is that
I wasn't.
Why does
I can be very blunt
guys
at
are
times.
so stupid.
He's a huge successful
I'm
streamer
sorry,
with lots of connections, status, wealth, etc. I don't think I'm special and I have very low self-esteem, so a few times I asked him why me,
Yeah,
as in why he would choose me when he could have anyone he wanted.
I mean, I do think the age gap is a little weird, right? But I just want to say, guys, if a girl is on the pill, that doesn't mean that she's sexually active. The pill is a great way to regulate your period. Like, that's so stupid. Oh my god. I swear, I've heard this from so many guys, by the way. So many guys have said the exact same thing. Like, it
His
kills me.
response was, "I trust you." I believed this. Again, I had no reason not to, and it logically made sense. I had a positive track record with him. Also, given the nature of his substantially female audience, he would want something
Yeah, I
under
wish
the
that
radar,
was true,
and he
Wog. Doesn't
trusted
work
me
for
to be
me.
discreet. When the conversation started to become much more romantic, I directly asked if he was involved with other girls and made it clear I wanted
Of course.
to know up
There it
front.
is, guys. I'm single.
He denied it, and that reassured me at the time.
Dude.
Had I known he was seeing multiple girls and inviting them
Yeah,
to
I mean,
conventions,
all of these people,
I
right?
wouldn't have gotten involved.
She was just another side
I only
piece.
engaged with him based on what I now believe were false pretenses.
Yep,
I thought
absolutely.
he really liked me and that this would eventually lead to a relationship.
Can we fucking read this line together, guys? And this is one of the most important things that everybody forgets about this situation, chat. I'm going to read this to you, okay? Are you guys ready? I only engage with him based on what I now believe are false pretenses. Such an important note to add to this. Yo, what's up, Trey? How you doing, sweetheart? Such an important thing to add to this chat that nobody really talks about. I only engage with him based on what I now believe are false pretenses. This guy lied about being single, and she only engaged with him because of that. Nobody wants to mention that. Everybody with Mao, right? They're all like, oh, well, Mao slid into his DMs. She only did that because she thought he was single. It was under a false pretense. No, Trey is that of Mythos, sweetheart. That's probably why you know his name. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, I do want to mention, guys, as we continue, moving through this, right? There was that inappropriate stuff that he said to her as she was a minor, right? I don't think any of this stuff was when she was a minor anymore. I think this was when she was an adult, but we'll double check it. Persona, thank you for giving us up to Trey. I appreciate you. So, Trey, when I get that exclusive, sneak peek on the new wave. As I don't know how this guy managed to actually raise so many girls this room. His messages are so cringe and ass. It's like I'm watching a real life high school anime. I'm gonna be honest, Alex. Like, I can give my personal opinion. I don't really find him that attractive, and I don't even find his personality attractive either. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't know. I guess I think it's because, like, if I was 18, I probably would have been like, because he was like a really like big like streamer, I probably would have been more impressed. But now I'm like, nah, dude. Let's go. Yes. That's
The call ended with what sounded to me like jerking off and heavy breathing after sending him a picture of me. He was the initiator in everything sexual, romantic, and flirtatious. I simply followed his lead.
Of
the
course.
Screenshots below are of him asking for his prize to be from behind, the prize in question being an explicit photo of me. We would play Mancala with each other. I won most of the time.
So we can chat. I do believe that she's an adult at this point, because she did say, there was something inappropriate that like happened at that point, right? But I will say that there were some messages that she was 17, you can see. So go on, have another one, why don't you? About my prize. What prize? You haven't won yet? I'm drawing this out. I'm holding you hostage. I want my present from behind next time. What can you actually draw it out? Wait, is it actually going to take like 20 turns? My final revenge. Okay, is what I would say if you had won. Fortunately, I'm a sore loser, and I'm going to be stubborn and not move my pebble. I guess it's a tie. What? LOL, no way. Oh my god. Winky face, no. Hee. How about a fair game of archery? Besides, I'm still waiting for my prize. Only fair to make you wait. Okay, fine, you're on. Once again, like, if she's an adult at this point and they want to interact like that, whatever, right? They're both consenting adults at that point, but I think with the storyline, right? The whole timeline, she was a minor in how he had interacted with her. Then she became an adult, and then he immediately switched, right? And he also kind of mentioned some really inappropriate stuff before. So I think this is just, it really paints a extremely bad narrative and story for him. It's weird. It's absolutely weird.
The screenshot below is after I sent him an explicit photo. We had agreed on a trade, but he never held up his end of the deal.
Of course not.
He did the whole "I'm so nervous,
Extremely
I have never
creepy.
done anything like this before" OMG
Yeah, well, that was a
routine.
fucking lie.
I didn't ask him to send anything explicit, but seeing as he bragged about his dick size to me, I wanted a suggestive photo. I guess it was also a show of trust. He would always put off sending anything back or make excuses.
Guys, can I just tell you something? You know, well, first, coward, you fucking coward. You fucking coward. Going back on your deal. You said you would send me your pee-pee. What the fuck? But, guys, I'm gonna put this out there really quickly, guys. You know size doesn't matter, right? I mean, size does matter, but, you know, like, it's the motion of the ocean. You know, it's the curve, guys. So, you know, I'm not surprised knowing his MO. He's like, oh yeah, you know, oh my god, my pee-pee's so big. Like, nobody fucking cares, dude. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so it's not the best when I start working out or try to make it nicer for you. And I know we said we trade, but I wanted you to have this before I leave. What the heck, you were so sweet. Thank you. When it's your trip, I will do it. Oh my god, I'm sorry, to be honest. I've never done anything like that, so I'm so nervous and worried I'll do it bad. And that's a lie. Listen to PB pick when I'm already with a girl or getting intimate. Is your trip tomorrow? Oh my god, it was the 7th, right? Pods, can you erase leader's message from my mind? I don't want to know that shit, bro. Keep that to yourself. TMI, dude, TMI. No, yours is totally okay, understand? I'm so nervous every time I do stuff. You can keep all your clothes on it, so it shouldn't be too bad. Shirley, yeah, I have tomorrow. Also, good morning. You woke me up. He. I did what? Well, good morning. Yeah, I forgot to silence. Hopefully you were less nervous. If you know what I like when I see you. Oh my god, sorry. No, it's really nice being woken up by you. My brain is still half asleep. I cannot for the life of me understand what you're saying. You said you were nervous when you do stuff. I was trying to make you more comfy. LOL, but you should get back to sleep. I probably will soon. All right, I see. Okay, well, thank you again for playing. It was really fun. Hopefully we hang out before I go. The screenshot below was our last text conversation in March. He was still flirting with me despite already moved on to another girl. Wonderful. Bad sportsmanship, big cheating, unfair strategy. Big win, LOL, underhand tactics were used. Therefore, your win is null and void. I'll be underhanding, all right. I like to see you try. No need to. It was haha deleted from her mind. Exactly. Nah, guys. I mean, like, the MO was clear here with him. I just think that he's taking advantage of so many people simultaneously at the same time. This is part of the big issue, right? So here we go. Request to meet in person at Paris TwitchCon. Wasn't he already with Alf at that point? Yeah, so already we have like his girlfriend Alf and Iceland at this point as well. So there was a minimum of 3 girls involved at this point.
He had asked me multiple times if I wanted to hang out at TwitchCon or Paris prior to us becoming involved. Most of the time I gave non-committal answers, redirected the conversation to something else or said no. When I said I couldn't go because of money, this was simply because it was the easiest answer. I didn't want to explain that I was scared to travel alone to a foreign country where I knew no one, to meet someone for the first time, that I struggled in crowds, around people, and with other issues. I was not looking for a handout and declined any offer to pay for me. Note, some of these screenshots are just normal DMS between us, but I thought it'd be more transparent if I posted the intact conversation.
I like that. That's a smart move.
The point of including them is to prove that he meant to fly me and 2 other girls separately to Paris.
Oh, sorry, 2 other girls at this point. Also, are you gonna hang when I visit Europe this year? I can't carry shit. You're going to Europe. Why? Sykkuno says, well, I think Paris specifically. Have you ever been there? Iceland says, yeah. Sykkuno says, it's an alright place, or like, LOL. She says, it's very busy. I don't know, it was a few years back. Sykkuno says, there's a TFT tournament or something here next year. I forget all the numbers at this point, guys. I really do. Iceland says, depends what time you go. I went outside a public holiday, so it's emptier but still busy. Sykkuno says, oh, it's hard to get there for you. Iceland says, not really short plane flight. Go see the Mona Lisa. That's cool. Sykkuno says, coming out when I'm there. Whoop. Iceland says, accommodation in Paris expensive. I'm broke student. It'll be a fun though. Sykkuno says, what? Iceland says, go eat some good French pastry. They do great pastries. Sykkuno says, I can probably help with that, don't worry. Well, it's not for a while anyway, but Iceland says, it's very kind, but you don't need to. Sykkuno says, I've actually never been to Europe ever in my life. Iceland says, I'm practically a stranger to you. What? Wait, really? Sykkuno says, yeah, I actually first traveled overseas to Japan like last year. Iceland says, I'm trying to think. Sykkuno says, for the first time I really traveled. Iceland says, you don't like to travel? Well, I hope Japan was nice. I would love to see their cherry blossom someday. Traveling has always been normal to me though, because the UK is so tiny. You have to leave if you want to do other things. But America is so stupidly vast, I can see why people rarely ever leave the country. Sykkuno says, oh yeah, America is big and you're not a stranger, what the heck? We lived in the same Ark house before it got destroyed by the Raptors. What the fuck? Yeah, exactly, leader. Like, don't leave people alone. Iceland says, a very cozy house made of mud and straw. I got, Celestial. Sykkuno says, oh my god, Kratz, we must celebrate at TwitchCon. So again, he's really pushing the idea of this, right? Yeah, celebrate at TwitchCon, right? Sykkuno says the, drinking juice box emoji. Iceland says, oh my god, hi. Sykkuno says, morning, are we hanging out at TwitchCon? Again, pushing it again. Iceland says, I can't go, I'm broke. Sorry, Sykkuno says, no. Okay, but what about if we went to Paris later this year? You could go to that. Iceland says, I mean, technically, yes. Sykkuno says, wait, really? Iceland says, but again, funny. Sykkuno says, is Paris close? Iceland says, it'll be fun though. Yes, like 2-hour flight. Sykkuno says, oh my god, all right, I'll buy you the flight. She says, no, you don't have to do that. He says, wait, why not? She says, because I have no way to repay you. Sykkuno says, that's okay, I don't want you to repay me. Yeah, that's a fucking line. He definitely has expectations for her to repay in the, well, Sykkuno says, what time is it for you right now? I'll see you coming to hang out when I go to Europe, right? Again, push. Hassan says, it depends on the dates of a course in London. It's 23-34. Sykkuno says, no, it's probably later in the year. She says, my course is like July, September. He says, okay, should be after that. It's in Paris. Yeah, yes, expectations, exactly. Sykkuno says, oh, maybe after that it's in Paris. LOL, all right. We actually will do it when I go to Europe later this year. We will, actually we'll do it when I go to Europe later this year. Yeah, I'm sure you want to do it. She says, yay. Sykkuno says we should hang out more though. Remember our random Ark house, and we better hang out when I'm in Europe. Dude, stop fucking pushing this. He says, the house has survived for a good 2 minutes. Oh, what's a good house? He says, no, make a fresh one and bring it to me when I'm in Paris. Oh my god, dude. Take the fucking hit. She says, will you bake me something in return then? He says, oh, I'm bad at baking. Some food from a restaurant, it's the best I can do. Oh my god, all right, can't wait to try some food when I'm there. She says, you should try a croque monsieur when you're in France. Very tasty, I agree with that. Best grilled cheese as you could call it. Potato dolphin rolls, dolphinos. I don't know how to say that. Oh, and beef, bourguignon, my favorite, super tasty. Oh my god, I'll have to look for them. Well, why don't we try them together? Can we keep a count of how many times this guy will not take the hint? He said, I already tried them, this is for you. Sykkuno says, well, what if I just want to hang out with you? Yeah, can we keep a fucking, count of how many times he won't take the hint? Well, what if I just want to hang out with you? Sykkuno says, oh yeah, I was gonna ask if you ever been to Paris. Didn't they already talk about that? Says, yeah, Sykkuno said, did you like it? He says, I was 11, I went to, the Louvre, it was cool, but from what I remember, yeah, my friend is playing Ark Raiders. You can talk to enemies. Sykkuno says, yeah, it's kind of funny, depending on if they talk back and stuff. Would you want to go back one day? I'll ask Couch Chat, I'm sorry. She says, this looks so fun. Visit when I visit, what the heck, says Sykkuno. Yeah, it's so fun. It's all the rage lately. Let's play. Especially if you like Tarkov. If it goes on sale, I will get it. Dude, this guy, it will just not fucking stop, dude.
After our more than friendship involvement, when he invited me to go to Paris again while in call together, I accepted. We talked about it in DMS too.
Okay, so we pushed for it so hard, he felt like she had to, right? Sykkuno says, okay, so you're coming to Paris for the whole weekend. I'm there, or, oh, well, and I'm like sort of kind of up. She said, do you want me there? Sykkuno says, I'm asking you to be honest. I'd feel bad because some days I'll probably be super busy with the TFT event. I won't want you to be sitting there bored. She says, I love puzzles. I can do puzzles for hours alone. Sykkuno says, LOL, what? She says, I'm pretty good at entertaining myself. Sykkuno says, that sounds so sad. No, LOL. She says, yeah, what? No, it's fun. I like it a lot. Sykkuno says, what kind of puzzles? Like, the ones you just put together or something? She says, Ravensburger ones. Yeah, puzzle pieces. I do like those puzzles. The Ravensburger ones. Ravensburger is also the creators of, Lorcana. I'm practicing for the retirement home. What can I say? I can easily do a 1,000-piece puzzle in one sitting. It's very cathartic. I will come jump on you to make sure you're awake. He says, what? LOL. Okay, so you're gonna bring puzzles? He says, puzzles multiple. They're kind of big. Sykkuno says, oh, well, I think I'm leaving on the 15th probably. I was thinking maybe you visit for like 1 day or something. He says, probably, didn't you have everything booked? What the heck? I can easily entertain myself for a day. He says, well, I mean, you can always change a flight or get a hotel for more nights. Technically, you can. She says, I do have free will. That is true. What are you going to be doing at the tournament? He says, playing TFT and stuff. She says, just watching. Oh, you're a competitor. Sykkuno says, yeah, I'll probably lose fast. Well, how long would you want to be there? She says, well, it feels like a waste to go to Paris and sit in a hotel room for a day. Probably 2 days so I can walk around Paris and see things. Just a girl who's terrified of French people. And deep out on her phone. What could go wrong? He says, yeah, that would kind of suck. What do you think? I think it'll be fun. Sykkuno says, I think so too. He says, just don't drug me and chop me into pieces and put me in a suitcase. Sykkuno says, LOL. I don't think that's a thing that would happen. She says, okay, phew, just checking. One of Blake Arc Raiders I'm getting on. He says, perhaps in a bit. I'm going to rest a little for now. My throat kind of hurts, I think, from talking too much on stream. This is the... This is the other time. Remember, didn't Mal mention that he would be like, oh, well, I can't really talk because my throat hurts, or, oh, I gotta whisper because my throat hurts. And wasn't that just so he could hide stuff from the girlfriend? He says, okay, want to try some, maybe want to try some warm water and honey. So, like, that's what I would do. Or, I'm sorry, like, what would I do when I get to the airport? Kind of embarrassing. I've never traveled alone. First time we'll be going to South Africa in January. He says, oh my God, all right, you're going to the thing for like a wedding. He goes on to say, yeah. And I was still pet cheetahs. I love Cheetos. But like, do I just hire an Uber? I've never used Uber before. Did he even have that in France? Sykkuno says, LOL, I think they do. Yeah, I plan on using an Uber probably. She says, and how do I know where to go? Sykkuno says, okay, not gonna lie, I don't really know since I've never been to, that one. He says, you don't know where you're going? Sykkuno says, nope, no idea. I'm just gonna, she says, you don't have an address? Sykkuno says, fumble through it on the post. Oh, wait, you mean like that? Yes, I have a hotel. I thought you meant like, where do you go to get picked up at the airport, or like, I don't know. He says, no, I can figure that out. I can figure out London Underground. And that's an absolute nightmare of transportation. By the way, that is. Sykkuno says, LOL. Iceland says, says, is it like, will there be a crowd? Not that I know jack shit about TNT currently, but like maybe I can watch it. Sykkuno says, honestly, she says, buy myself seats or something like that. Sykkuno says, I think they'll probably will. I'm not sure. LOL. I know TFT isn't like as big as Leagues or League of Legends, so they don't quite do as much for it, I'm sure. He says, I mean, I don't need to watch. Don't want to give you performance anxiety. He says, I mean, I'll probably lose first day and be free, but LOL. She says, no, you will win for sure. Sykkuno goes on to say, I think my friend usually streams it. And we can hang out there. She says they live there. Sykkuno says, oh, no, like, they mean, I don't know. I mean, last year, the TNT people just set up a whole thing for him to stream it. LOL, like, at the venue. So, I want to take a moment here, really, chat. A really quick chat. I am very much really starting to believe, even more so. I mean, I already believe, but I just want to add this even more. I am very much 100% believing that the friends had no idea, right? Because why would he invite them to go and hang out with people that he knows, right? Because if he hides his girlfriend from them, it's not problematic if these random girls show up and it gives him a lot more flexibility to be a player, right? He can have them in his hotel rooms or invite them wherever he wants. This makes a lot more sense to me now that I really am looking at these messages. I think that this adds a lot more context, like she wanted, right? But I do 100% believe, looking at this as well, he absolutely hid this from his friends. So when random girls show up, it wasn't a problem. He says, oh, I see, I don't want to intrude. Sykkuno says, oh, would you want to be on stream like that? She says, what? No. Sykkuno says, but what do you think? It'd be a little awkward. She said, definitely not. Sykkuno says, oh. She says, I mean, as in these people don't know me. I don't want you to have to worry about me. You should have fun. So I don't think other people should be around. Maybe, I don't know, I'm wrong. She says, I mean, as in these people don't know me. Oh, sorry, that's the same message here. Sykkuno says, okay, honestly, maybe the best idea is, let me see if I can just extend my trip like a couple of days or something. Then you can come visit me and we don't have to worry about all that. All right, so laying it down. She says, you do that? Sykkuno says, well, I gotta figure out how. He says, oh, are your flights already booked? Again, I don't mind just like sitting around. I don't mind being alone. Sykkuno says, yeah, but I'm sure it's changeable. He says, well, whatever works for you. I mean, I'm there for you, so it's easy. Sykkuno says, what the heck? Don't say it like that. Let me see if I can extend a little though. Oh, and this is random, but would you ever want to travel to the US? She says, yes, America is fun. Sykkuno says, oh, okay, well, what if, LOL, it'd be easier too, cuz. He says, well, if I what? He says, if you visit the US, I can stay for a bit, or I don't know, LOL. He says, well, when you can open your inventory when you're down, couldn't put the cat collar in my safe stash. So I think they're talking about whatever game they were playing, right, chat? Sykkuno says, yeah, you can't. No, oh my god, you lost the collar. She says, yes. He says, what would you want to? So planning the trip to America now. He says, we loaded into rate because my friend had collar. He says, is your schedule usually fairly open? He says, yeah, pretty much apart going to South Africa. He says, oh, okay, when is your South Africa trip again? She said mid-January. He says, okay. She says, oh, you got the dog collar. I feel like France is significantly closer to America, though. What state are you in? He says, LOL, congrats. And yeah, it is. And she blanked it out. Sykkuno, what state? Oh, California. Oh, sorry, he just said California. What do you ask? She says, man, there's a 12-hour flight. He says, yeah, that's far. I'm sorry. He says, I mean, it's more, imagine I fly all the way and you're like, no, I don't like you very much. Can you be rather unfortunate? Also, you're going to play now? I'm looking for lemons. He said, that would be really unfortunate. Yes, I don't think that would happen, though. So they've already planned 2 trips now, chat. And this dude is interacted inappropriately with her as a minor. As he's an adult, he's trying to meet up, kind of do the, So I just gotta say, guys, I think this document overall, and I'm gonna ask you guys as I take a drink of my tea, I think this document has made him look worse. What do you guys think? What's up, Nick? How are you? I think this has made him look worse. So she goes on to say, I guess at least I'm only there for a day. It's like a trial run. If you don't like me, I can be returned and shipped off, so to speak. That's horrible. He says, what? LOL. Well, definitely be less pressure and stuff for both of us. She says, yeah, plus macaroons. He says, macaroons. He puts a picture. Sykkuno says, thank you for the follows, by the way, guys. Thank you. Googling me up. Welcome in, guys. Sykkuno says, oh, I know what they are. Of course. LOL. I mean, what do you mean? France has good macaroons. Sykkuno says, the booba maxing is astounding. Oh, yeah, the dog school, I guess. Booba maxing. What the fuck is booba maxing? Yeah, explain yourself. I've never heard of this booba maxing. Oh, are you talking about this? Are you talking about this? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm always booba maxing. Of course, Sykkuno says, okay. She means, I guess you're okay too, but like, Christ out of crack. I remember we figured out we could do that. That's so funny. Sykkuno says, we gotta try those. Well, we will at least try those for sure, LOL. Sykkuno says, yeah, I can try to find some. And I think extending my flight seems kind of cooked. I think because it's close to Christmas there, I actually expensive to change. She says, oh, okay. He says it's like $1,800 to push it back one day. She says, no, I'm not. I'm just, it's just acknowledgement. Sorry, tone doesn't pass through text. He says, oh, he says, I mean, yeah. Sykkuno says, yeah, it's actually, she says, no, again, it's whatever you really want. Sykkuno says, well, why say it like that? Oh my God. She says, like, what? Sykkuno says, oh, well, would you still want to hang out even if it was only for a date? He says, yeah, I mean, maybe. Sykkuno says, oh, no pressure if it's not. Wait, oh, no pressure if not. I know it's like such a rush and stuff. Maybe we can plan something for the future. Bro, this dude literally has pressured her all fucking like month long. And it says, oh, no pressure. I cannot chat. This dude is actually killing me. He's actually killing me, Dad. Oh, no pressure. Well, that was a fucking line. Of course, he says, good morning. I miss my tutor. I think she's talking about her computer. Can I ask you something? He says, yes, what's up? She says, when would you want me to come? A few months, a few weeks? I had not really thought about it. He says, oh, when you want to, he says, I don't know. So soon I want to beat you in a fight ASAP. He says, LOL, it definitely won't, but okay, let me try to plan a good time. Here we go. Let's see what happened, chat.
Ultimately, I didn't go because my German passport had expired, and due to bureaucratic fuckery you are not allowed to travel to the EU on your UK passport if you have an EU one, even if it's expired.
Interesting.
When he invited me to go to Paris, he said he'd pay for everything: food, accommodation, flights, just like he did the other girls who went to Paris. No idea how he was going to juggle multiple girls over a few days.
I'm gonna be honest, chat. I think for him, he tries to like cast his web out as much as possible and see what sticks, and then just like take advantage of whatever works, right? It's just throwing shit against the wall until he can get as many people involved as he can, right? I don't know how he juggles it, or if he has to end up doing it, or if he like bails on certain people, etc. No, I know it's the same Paris trip, right? But I'm saying that I think that for the most part, right, when he gets to a point where he realizes that it might get too serious, this is when he's like, oh, no pressure, things like that, right? So I think it definitely like gets what he wants, or at least pulls one or two people in, and then he's like, you know, then dismisses the rest. How many people is he trying to sleep with in Paris? At least 2 or 3, it looks like. Yeah, 3, I think, at this point.
Realizing I was not the only girl involved by some crazy coincidence, I found out Elphilia had been invited to Paris by him and anonymously DM'd her to ask if she was in a similar situation to me.
Alright, so this is when Elfie was in Paris. He says, sorry, this seems super random, but you're going to Paris because someone invited you and offered to pay for the tickets to meet you. Wow. Oh no. Oh no, chat. Oh no. Oh no!
Unfortunately, Elphilia had her DMS off, so she didn't see it. I honestly wish I tried harder to get in contact with her, dude. But I was scared too.
No.
What if they were friends and nothing happened?
No, chat.
I didn't want to risk losing what I thought was the beginning of a relationship over my insecurities, so I chose to stick my head in the sand and believe him when he reassured me there was no one else.
He literally could have prevented everything.
Below are receipts of me confiding in my friend about the situation
in December
and
2025.
talking about how I had already asked him if he was doing something of this nature with other people. Amusingly enough, I used the word harem.
Oh,
Guess I wasn't far off.
This is so sad. If she would have seen that, all of this could have been prevented back in December 2025. Oh my God, dude, that sucks. That super sucks. Can we get an F in the chat? That is legitimately like so depressing. He goes on to say, I point blank asked him if he had a harem or was doing this with other girls and said I wouldn't mind if that's the case. I just wanted to know. I knew what I was getting into. Was it a case of just easy release? I thought it was special. What was he gonna juggle us on different days? That's fucking crazy. Wow. Man, dude, I can't believe that happened, Chad. That sucks.
From this point onwards you can blame me for being naive, gullible, stupid, and yeah, maybe that applies. I really liked him. I enjoyed spending time with him. He made me laugh a lot, complimented me, and made me happy. I rationalized it as how could he possibly do that if he didn't really like me and I wasn't the only one? After telling him I was an only child multiple times, he repeatedly thought I had a sibling.
That's kind of weird. I always spent another evening together watching Fallout. We laugh a lot and have fun. Fun Mujin things. I think we have a lot of fun with things that make me question mark. Like he forgot I told him I was only child. I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know either. I feel like there's something that could easily, be easy to forget, but also not really. He also told me more stuff about his family and himself. Iceland says, when I told him, he was surprised and he said, I thought I had one sibling. So this kind of is like, I think what this is implying is that he's playing so much, he's confusing the girls and their, their family members and stuff like that. And it's also implying that he just doesn't give a fuck. And today was saying he thought I had one sibling, so maybe it's one of those things where you gaslight yourself in the wrong answer, perhaps, yeah. I think it's, maybe mixing up the girlies. Or again, he's just doesn't give a fuck.
After he was
Either
back
one.
from the TFT tourney, I asked again if he was doing this sort of thing with anyone else or talking to anyone else.
Okay.
He denied it again and said he wasn't involved romantically with anyone else. I trusted him. He also invited me to go to his home in Vegas again, unsure how the logistics of that would pan out seeing as he had a girlfriend living there. But nothing he did is particularly logical.
It's his power.
I asked this in a voice call, but I do have receipts of me venting to my friends I had no experience with this thing, so I was getting guy advice from her.
Yeah, makes sense.
Second-hand account of me confiding in my friend after I talked to him on call, and he once again stated it was only me.
I think that what we can look at this, right, is he's lied multiple times. I think that he's gonna do it. He's gonna try to take every opportunity to sleep with somebody else, or at least feel like he has power over them, that they accepted, they want to sleep with him, right? So I think it's more about kind of that. But yeah, he's gonna try to get the sex if he can, right? Also, can we talk about this Corneria metal remix? This shit's fire as fuck. Sorry, I just put it in the playlist the other day and I'm like, this sounds so good. Anyway, he goes on to say, yeah, we had a pretty good chat about, what's going on. The friend says, well, the elf Leah lady, or you guys' his situation. Iceland says, no, but what we talked about confirmed that at least. He's thinking to a story of it's just me. He'd be jealous of, talking to other guys. He says, need advice. The friend says, I'm here. Sorry, just woke up. Iceland says, he's not two-timing me, but he does stick me around a bit. I think he just became used to being the most important person, so everyone just does what he wants when needed. But I'm waking him at 5 a.m. because he said we hang out, and then we just don't hang out. Then you don't even apologize till I make a deal out of it. That's just crappy. So I stood my ground. I was like, nah, and he went to sleep. I don't know whether to text him good morning, because normally he just texts me good morning, but it's just him ignoring it once again. Yeah, I feel like he just doesn't care, right? I mean, obviously he doesn't care, but he's going to be treating you like this. I just want to say this really quick, guys. Cheating is a really horrible thing. And if you want to be in a relationship dynamic where you're sleeping with multiple women or whatever, you need to make sure that, number one, you're with a person that is okay with that. And number two, you communicate that as well. You have those discussions, right? Those type of relationship dynamics are not for everybody. And, everybody has their own personal boundaries. Just talk to people. Just understand wherever somebody wants to come from. And if you want to not be in a relationship because of that, more power to you, right? You're absolutely not allowed to be in a relationship with somebody like that. Or just stay single, or find a way to, meet your needs while communicating with your partner, right? He said I should come out in a month or so. His current flavor of the month game he's playing with his entire friend group comes down because he's streaming for 10 hours straight. I'm playing it off stream, but just respect my time at least a little, And the friend says, I see what you mean. Here we go. Here's the money and gifts section, chat.
Money and gifts. He sent me money once, as a Christmas present. I didn't like him because of his money and never asked him for money. I think this is relevant as it's another example of Sykkuno's pattern of sending hundreds of dollars to the girls he was invested in at the time.
Again, it's this it's just to kind of be like, oh yeah, I don't want to say sugar daddy, right? But it's like, it's part of the power dynamic. It's gift bombing. Thank you. Yeah, like lots of people live that lifestyle as well, Dark. Like, and that's totally okay. Whatever works for you, right? Like, I mean, not that this is really like anybody's business, right? But like, you know, I've been in different relationship dynamics, you know, like I've been monogamous, I've been non-monogamous, and that's okay, right? It depends on what you want out of a relationship with that person, right? Everything's different, and that's okay. Just as long as you communicate. Sykkuno says, what? Oh my god, I didn't see it yet. Well, I hope you like it. The gift I got you. Wait, how do I even? Oh my god. He says, I get a gift. Probably a good thing you didn't see it yet. Sykkuno says, well, I can't exactly get it for you, but what's your PayPal? He says, wait, huh? He says, well, I was trying to donate on your stream, but it's like making me log in or something. He said, what the heck? That's so nice. You don't have to do that. You're just like spending time with me is, with you is good enough. Wait, what do you mean you can't get it? Like something I have to buy? Well, I mean, I don't have your like address or anything, so LOL, I was just gonna send you money for it. He says, oh, I see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad though. I love giving gifts, but I suck at accepting them. Sykkuno says, oh, so you don't want it? She says, I just don't want my gift to suck compared to yours. If you gift me, I don't know, do something, out-gift me. Oh, do you want to hang out later after you rest? He says, yeah, sure, and your gifts are great. Don't worry about that. That's not a competition anyway. I just want to do something nice for you, and you want to do something nice for me. So he says, yippee, I'll send a line for a few hours. He says, yeah, true. Well, okay, it's blank. He says, hopefully it worked. LOL for your new graphics card. He says, oh, that's so much. You didn't have to. Holy moly. Are you sure? Thank you. Oh my god. Like, are you sure? Sykkuno says, yeah, of course. I think you can get like a 50-70 or something at least. I don't know if it costs more than you care or something, but I feel like a 50-70 back in 2025 was pretty expensive, right, chat? Yeah, new graphics card at 50-70 is not cheap. That's a pretty big present. Yeah, it's a pretty big present. Several $100s. Yeah, maybe somebody can give me the price on that. But, that's several $100s. He says, it's crazy. Thank you. I don't know what to really say, man. Sykkuno says, I just remember you having trouble with your graphics card sometime a long time ago. $700 right now, right? So, like, 2025. Maybe it was more, maybe it's a little less. I don't know. The current state of computer parts seems to be expensive, but what is it for, all purpose of a $700, chat? That's a lot. She says, yeah, but like you didn't, thank you. He said, Merry Christmas, LOL. I'm just gonna go shower and get some Mujin stuff. And of course, here is the completed PayPal. All right, guys, so here we go. Communication after
Communication
the
after the
release of
public
all
allegations
this.
after everything got made public. I reached out to him to try to find some closure. Part of me wanted to make him feel how it felt to get stabbed in the back, or at least to feel a fraction of the pain I felt. I was hurt, disgusted, and angry that he probably forgot about me somewhere in the sea of other girls he was talking to. I wanted him to know how it felt to believe someone and trust them when they were only acting under false pretenses. I know it was morally wrong of me and selfish, but I was and still am angry.
Yeah, Sykkuno pulled a Persona God, like, holy shit. Persona God was like my sugar daddy for like a long time. When I was first getting into 3D, Persona helped me so much. I will never forget that, by the way, Persona God. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me, dude. He's here. Persona God was my sugar daddy. I will never forget that. Thank you, sweetheart. You made such a difference in my content over the years.
It
You
was
really
all
have.
about him.
Nah,
How he was sorry. How he was only human.
Not like that,
How
Persona
he was
God.
going through a lot, watching him dodge accountability, continuing to lie even when caught
Love
truly
that.
showed me what kind of person he is. One without remorse or regard for those he used as toys for his own pleasure.
Yep, I mean, that's what
When
it is.
corroborating his apology with other girls, he pretty much repeated parts to the point we thought he had a formula and replaced
Yep.
certain words to tailor it
course he
to
did.
each girl.
Of course he
Work
did.
smarter, not harder, I guess.
So here we go. Iceland says, how you holding up? That's a pretty brutal expose. And he said, not well, I'm sorry. He says, firstly, I don't know what your mental is like right now, but please don't do anything stupid. Secondly, can I ask something? He says, I'm alive, and yes, you can. He said, why do you lie? I asked you point blank if you're doing this kind of thing with other girls. I believe even used to use the phrase, more power to you if so. And I think she mentioned earlier she was comfortable with that kind of stuff as well. So it's even more baffling that he continued to deny it, right? I mean, I could see why he did because it would technically expose him, but Sykkuno says, at the time I talked to you, I wasn't. At the time I talked to you, I wasn't. That's a fucking lie, dude. What? That's a fucking lie. We know this stuff from Alvalia. That's a lie. So he continues to lie. As of 5 days ago, chat, this dude continues to fucking. Are you fucking me, dude? I was talking to someone else that's when we stopped talking as much. I'm sure you can tell I'm sorry. I know this isn't nice here, but you deserve the truth at least. I'm sorry for hurting you, bro. Can somebody play the song, please? Can somebody play the song, please? This is bullshit. Thank you. Thank you.
Why you always lying?
Bro, this dude is a fucking pathological liar. Thank you, Nid. This dude is straight up a fucking pathological liar. This is insane. He says, well, let's not lie. He invited me to Paris while inviting 2 other girls I didn't know of. He said, you rejected me there, but I did stop talking to you as much. He said, no, I didn't. You said you could extend the trip. And even if I had to prove I'm not the only one you were talking to, if you have multiple other people ready to be deployed, I've known you for 6 years. Can you at least not be a little bit more truthful? He said, I'm telling you, but for the original question, I don't fully know why. Bro, this dude is so full of bullshit. A combination of wanting to say things to make you happy, being afraid and insecure to make you upset. It's not a simple answer. I'm sorry, it's hard to put together, especially right now. Haven't been having a good time. Bro, this dude, I just want to say this, chat. The more I see about Sykkuno, right? The more bullshit, the more victims that come forward, the more that's exposed. I'm really fucking wondering about that apology. I'm really wondering about that apology more and more. I said I wouldn't care if you weren't. It just would affect me than how I proceed with this situation. How would you telling me anything make me upset when I already said I didn't care and that it was your business? He said, I know you were good. He said, I'm sorry I can be, I'm sorry I can be you. Didn't deserve it. I don't expect you to forgive me, but if there's anything I'd ask for, it's like, I genuinely did enjoy spending time with you. Sorry for hurting you and not communicating properly. He says, you're being dramatic. Yeah, I cried a lot, but I kind of knew what else would I ask you twice about it. Why else would I ask you about it? He said, sorry for the drama. It's been a hard time. He said, you are who you are. It just made sense. He said, I'm human too, so read that in a Deku voice, chat. He said, I'm sorry, Iceland says, I'm aware and I hope you're doing as well as could be. I had lots of fun with you too. I could have said it's hard to be more than just crush right now. I'm sorry, dude. You did this to yourself. I'm sorry. Like, you're crushed, dude. You crushed other people as well. Like, can we talk about the fucking victims for a moment? He says, I don't know if it was just a person or not. Either way, we had some good laughs, and I appreciate that. What you did sucks, but it is what it is. I'm not the biggest victim here. Made me feel special, and that was nice. And I met so many people through you. He said it wasn't. It was fun spending time together. I'd be sad if all those memories disappeared, even though you killed me so many times in games, you maniac. He's still trying to, like, hold on to something here with these little jokes. She said, yeah, well, you deserved it. You conniving rock. You did the exact same to me for the content. We both know it. He said, I did. Thank you for messaging me. It's the closest thing to a smile I've had. Remembering that. Again, the fucking Deku. The fucking Deku right here, dude. I cannot. Please, chat, read this with the fucking voice. Please. Thank you for messaging me. This is the closest thing to a smile I've had. Remembering that, Achaku. I cannot, dude. She says, good thing you have those investments, I guess. I mean, as sad as I am, I still care about you. You're still a human, as you said. Maybe I'm too optimistic and naive, but hopefully with therapy and time, everything will heal. Or everyone will heal. I mean, he had a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably should have picked him a little better. I said, that's life. And it sounds like you think I'd never plan on coming back. Wow. Wait a second. Let me stand up for this. Hold on. And it sounds like you think I'd never plan on coming back. So this is I guess this lines up with his apology, right? He's yo, what's up? How's it going? Howdy. We're talking about the Sykkuno, the new document that came out. So, this sounds like to me, you know, he did come out with his apology, right? He did say he would take time away, but it feels like I don't know. It feels like he's just like, yeah, like, no, I'm coming back. Yeah, it feels like, yeah, I did walk. It changed to 3. That's why I started it, at noon instead. Yeah, no worries. But yeah, that's exactly actually why I changed, when I started stream, kind of last second. So, no worries, but yeah, that was why. Sorry, I probably should have told you that. I kind of just forgot. I had a lot going on today where I was like trying to like get all these things together and I just kind of forgot. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna start, you know, a little bit later. But yeah, it's 3 p.m. CST. She says, I mean, you'd have to have balls and steals to come back right now. He says, not right now, of course, but thank you for worrying about me. Still, thanks for checking up so much. He says, I messaged you twice. That's not a bunch. He says, more than many, so thank you. She said, you didn't do anything illegal, did you? Not that you should tell me if you did, but again, what you did, it sucks. But people don't act logically, they act emotionally. Right now, they are hurt, so emotions take the wheel. I still consider you a friend, maybe that's wrong. Well, someone I care about your well-being. I mean, they knew each other for 6 years, right? So I think that it's understandable that she's like, I want to make sure you're okay, like you're not doing something to hurt yourself, but I still think you're a horrible human being, right? He says, I didn't do anything illegal. Thank you for still caring. Maybe I don't deserve it. I really need to hear that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad she points out his response as well, because I think it's a little
In response to
weird.
me offhandedly saying you had a pretty good run, he says, and it sounds like you think I'd never plan on coming back. That stood out
In the middle
because
of
even in the
everything,
middle
right?
of everything coming out, he seemed to already be thinking about returning. That felt jarring.
I agree.
In my opinion, someone who is genuinely focused on reflection and accountability would not be thinking or speaking about a comeback at that moment.
100% agree with that. Why? The first thing you jump to is, oh yeah, well, you know, I'll be back. Nah, dude, I think you need to focus on your girlfriend, who has somehow so graciously decided to stay with you through all this. That still blows my mind, right? My closing thoughts. Let's take a look, guys.
I'm really sorry to anyone I have disappointed. I trusted someone I only had positive interactions with for years, and honestly I liked the attention. It made me feel special. I feel gross and disgusted that I exposed myself and was vulnerable around someone who didn't actually care for me.
Yeah,
I really
don't
was
think
just
he cared
another
for you.
number
Very
added
sad
to the
say.
list. If you choose to
It
not
just
want
sucked
to watch or support
admit
me
that, of
anymore, I
course.
understand and want to thank you for the time you have given me. I wrestled with speaking about this because I didn't want people to see me differently, lose the friends
Honestly,
I
I
made
think I
via him,
respect you
or
for
be attacked.
bringing it out.
Hopefully
You know?
by offering up this information people will see it wasn't just 1 or 2 girls.
Yeah, and it's
He
been
has
over
done this
years,
to so many
chat.
girls over the years.
And it's why the predator word is so strong. But I love this highlighted part, and this has been one of my main arguments the entire time. But let's listen to this, guys. Everybody, type 1 if you were here and you're listening. This highlighted sentence is so important to the entirety of this Sykkuno, you know, I don't know, drama, whatever you want to call it, right? It's so important, guys.
We were all put in a situation where our consent was given based on a lie. No one knew he had a girlfriend and that he was messaging and sleeping with multiple girls.
You can't give consent.
I'm so
under a
deeply
false
sorry
pretense.
to all the people he hurt. You all deserve so much better and you weren't the problem.
Exactly, chap. Wow. And that's such a important part of this whole Sykkuno thing, right? Everybody's like, oh, well, they messaged him this and that. You know, they gave him consent. There were 2 consenting adults. That's not true. Because under the false pretense that he gave to everybody, everything was based on a lie. So things would have went down very differently had they not actually, or had they actually known what was going on, right? And I'm really glad somebody else pointed that out as well. So I think, you know, I'm going to run the poll here for a moment, Chad, but can we all agree that this document made Sykkuno look a lot worse? Especially looking at that she was a minor and, you know, he definitely said some really gross stuff, in my opinion. Maybe people feel differently, but I think that looking at, you know, what this was, I think it was very creepy. And maybe some people are going to be like, oh, well, you know, you were 18 or this or that because you blanked out the dates. I don't think that that disproves that by any means. I think that she wanted to, you know, protect the data for stuff, right? So I think that doesn't do anything. And again, this just adds more context of him sleeping around. I think that everybody is so busy on Twitter trying to naysay or victim blame that they keep forgetting that these people were led on for years and are actually hurt. They're hurting guys that they thought had this image of this person who turns out to be a big fucking liar, guys, that seems to be more concerned about how he's going to make a comeback rather than actually becoming better or dealing with the problems he's created. And I think that this just really points all that out. Hey, what's up, Soap? How are you? He, Brewster in a... Right, exactly. Like, just all of it tied up together, chat. It's really fucking depressing. Yeah, it just shows he can't stop lying. And even, like, looking at this recent message, he was still lying to her. Like, oh, yeah, no, you know, I'm sorry you didn't deserve it. You know, I enjoyed spending time with you, but, oh, yeah, the time I talked to you, I wasn't. That's a fucking lie. We already... We know that's a lie, dude. Absolutely fucking nuts. Yep, sunk cost fallacy. Also, we engineered situations where the girls felt indebted to him and used that to create consent. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think so either, Dan. I don't think so. Really, really fucked up situation, guys. Wow. Really, really fucked up situation. I really hope the best for her. Hope she's able to move on. I know this has to hurt with somebody you trust, you think is a friend, and they turn out just to absolutely just be the opposite of that, disappoint you guys. I think the lesson here with Sykkuno is anybody can be a bad person, chat. Anybody can be a bad person. And I think that it's better not to put people up on a pedestal, and it's also better to... I don't think there was any way the victims would have been able to find out the real information, right? Besides just communicating with each other. No man is ever truly good. Nobody's ever truly good, right? And this is just the situation. Being more and more disappointed in Bao. Why are you disappointed with Bao right now? If you don't mind me asking, what has Bao done recently that's disappointed you? Are you talking about the Crunchyroll sponsorship? Exactly. 100%, Kisan. I agree with that. The situation is just so sad. It's so sad to see so many people affected by this guy. He just continued to use them, guys. Like, and it seems like he didn't even care looking up some of his messages as well. Really sucks. Really sucks. Yeah, let's see what Jackrabbit has to say about what's going on with Bao here. I assume it's about the Crunchyroll stuff. How did anything wrong gonna be roaster pistol there? I mean, so I'm gonna see what Jackrabbit says, right? Hey, what's good, y'all? My first time here. What's up, Scarlet Spider? How are you? We're talking about the stuff going on with Sykkuno. There's a place under the sexual assault umbrella for consent given under duress. Is there? I mean, I would imagine there is, right? Stuff under duress too is like a whole separate thing. What's up, Freya? I have to go, but I adore you, Lara. Oh, bye, Vampy. Have a good one, cutie. Hey, what's up, Freya? How are you, sweetheart? So, of course, chat, the other thing we have to talk about is what happened here with Mujin, guys. And Mujin has actually issued an apology, guys. So, you know, everybody was really... All right, let me give you the TLDR here. And I'd rather not burp into the microphone. So, Mujin has kind of got into some hot water here because he was the first one to put out the video about it. He had an exclusive scoop about it. People are really upset with his verbiage, Predator. Another Crunchyroll I could actually care less about that F Crunchyroll. Then what specifically, Jack? Yeah, what specifically are you upset with her about? So, of course, we've talked about Mujin the past couple days with this, right? Upset about his verbiage, using the word predator, being the first one with the story, having a scoop, etc., right? So, what really sucked was a lot of people were taking the hate that, or not hate, but being upset about Sykkuno and misdirecting it towards Mujin, right? So, Mujin decided to address it, guys. So, let's take a look at what Mujin had to say about this video. I think there was a lot of people being very much too hateful towards things about Mujin. I think that it's okay to give criticism, right? Yo, what's up, Saber? How are you? It's okay to give a criticism, right? And be like, hey, like, you know, I think that this was not the best, right? But people really were being horrible to Mujin, right? And I feel like his video just laid out the facts. And maybe there was some stuff where it's like, okay, you know, you live and learn and you adjust for down the line. Anyway, let's hear what Mujin had to say, guys. Here we go.
First things first, this video is not monetized. I'm not about to pull a CC in the big 2026. I'm making this in regard to my last video about Sykkuno. I want to clarify how
it was kind of crazy she monetized
this
that
video
response.
came to be, while also taking accountability and apologizing for the mistakes that I made. At the same time, I also want to clear up some misinformation spread about me over the last few days. This video was meant to come out a bit earlier, but I was told by someone in the know that Sykkuno might release a joint statement with his girlfriend, so I chose to wait for that first, just in case. I'll also be going through that later in the video. So, how did this all begin? Well, for me, it was on April 7th when I was reached out to by Mal for the first time. I was told that a Google Doc was releasing soon about a big content creator. And this is when I was asked if I wanted access to it early to maybe make a video about it.
Tech. It cannot, look, remember, Tech, his whole thing was, he said he was single, right? It is not consensual if it was under a false pretense. They thought he was single and continued to have that dialogue and interactions with them under a false pretense. It cannot be consensual because he lied to them. I want to make that clear, and that's one of the main things that's said here in this document. That's why I keep highlighting it. We were all put in a situation where our consent was given based on a lie. No one knew he had a girlfriend, and he was messaging and sleeping with multiple girls. There can be no consensual anything, right? There can be no consent because he lied to them about the entirety of everything. This is why this part is so important to highlight, because everything was under a lie. Anyway, let's continue.
The document was going to publicly release on the 10th anyway. This means that this wasn't some grand conspiracy, okay? This document was going to release with or without me. And while yes, rumors of Sykkuno's behavior have
the document was going to come out on the 10th, regardless, right? Like, she was going to post it.
Been floating around for a while now between certain content creator circles. None of this was going to really convince me to make an early video. If you've watched my channel before, then you'd know that I'm someone who highly values both sides of the story. It's actually something that I always implore you to do before forming your own opinions. And while I do receive so many DMs about scoops or exclusive info about certain topics, I mostly never take them, always choosing to wait for things to unfold in public first before making my videos.
And I'm the same way, chat, because I don't like to jump on topics until about 24, 48 hours. And so this is why I have my news on Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Because it allows things to happen and for me to talk about things that I feel like are out there. And it's like, okay, now I can talk about it or not, right? So
what made the situation special, though, was the 17-minute video recording of the voice call between Mal and Sykkuno. My logic here was simple. It was me thinking that we already had the other side of the story, and it was Sykkuno admitting to his wrongdoings in the most raw and unfiltered way possible. So I figured that was enough.
That's fair, right?
At the same time, I thought that since my channel had grown exponentially, don't ask me how or why because I have no idea, I could maybe use my platform for a good cause, spreading awareness about Sykkuno's behavior so that no one else gets tricked into being a homewrecker against their will, while in parallel, encouraging others who have been wronged by him to finally speak up. Additionally, seeing that the person speaking up was doing so from a small account, I figured I could help amplify that message to spread maximum awareness. Now yes, some people could definitely argue that I was desperate for a topic to bring in views, but to me it didn't matter because I was already lucky enough to be able to cover niche topics I enjoy and still somehow reach over 1 million views on them.
Yeah, I do want to say, I think a lot of people that were like, oh, you're desperate or whatever, you can throw that to the side, dude. This guy has millions of views on multiple videos. He's not desperate for a topic.
Again, don't ask me how because I don't know, but that was just the reality. Here's the thing though. Releasing the video around the same time as the document meant that I was taking a substantial risk by putting my channel's reputation on the line. I knew this, even at the time, but it was a risk I was willing to take if it meant that I was doing the right thing. Unfortunately though, it didn't really work out as I had hoped, and I ended up making mistakes that I need to take accountability for, which is why we're here today.
I just want to say, guys, my respect for Mujin has increased exponentially. For somebody to come at me like, hey, dude, like, here's my apology. I fucked this up. Here's the specifics of why, and here's what I'm going to do. People should be allowed to make a mistake and grow, right? I know that's very controversial for Twitter, but literally, guys, you should be allowed to make a mistake and grow from it and improve yourself, right? How do you become a better human being or a better YouTuber or a reporter, right? If you're not allowed to grow.
The first mistake can be found in the intro of the video, and it's me using the word predator. Yes, it was my idea, and the logic behind it was me trying to encompass everything, like the serial cheating, lying, and deliberate targeting of smaller content creators into one word. Before using it, I even made sure to double check its definition in multiple dictionaries, which said things like a person or an organization that uses weaker people for their own advantage, or one who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit.
I think that what we get into here, chat, is this is the actual definition, right, guys? This is straight up the definition of it. So technically he is right. What happened here was the perception of that word on, I guess, like a general, like, audience scale is not the same, right? There's an implied meaning of it, which I'll be honest, I didn't really get that until this whole thing happened. Because for me, I see predator and I'm like, okay, what kind of predator, right? So it's a learning thing even for me. I would have made this exact same mistake. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would have made this exact same mistake. So I think being, understanding where he's coming from, I think is important, right? Phrasing and terminology, even if technically correct, legal implication, and overestimating ability of average audience member will take the term as meaning exactly. So it's a learning lesson. I learned with this as well.
Due to this, I had to come to the conclusion that, yeah, this word fits. I'd find out quickly afterwards, though, that for many people, that word is only reserved to describe pedophiles or sexual predators, which made a substantial amount of people feel misled after watching the intro of my video. It made it seem like a hit piece, exaggerating things, and it also made it seem like Sykkuno had committed very serious crimes, enough to land him in a high-security prison or something, when that clearly wasn't the case. That was not my intention at all, and I'm sorry for that. From now on, I'll only use that word to refer to pedophiles or sexual predators.
I think this is fantastic, but people are going to write him about it. But he apologized and he said, this is my thought process. This is what I think that I could have done better. And this is what I'm going to do. This is literally like fucking perfect accountability. And people are going to still write on him for it. I promise you. This is a great apology so far. What do you want from this guy? Mujin is not entirely wrong, but the majority of people these days, I do not like the term associated with pedophile. Sure. Polo, thank you for the tier 1 cutie. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sorry maybe this is controversial, but I'm glad that he's actually growing and took the feedback in stride, you know? That's what we should allow people to do. People make mistakes. If you're out here pretending people don't fuck up, you got a problem. You know, like, people are allowed to make mistakes.
That's it. No exceptions. I'd also like to say that yes, the video was rushed. It simply didn't meet the quality standard that you'd expect of me, and that's without even mentioning that it was clearly biased and didn't attempt to see different viewpoints. There's a reason I don't typically reach out to people involved in public incidents, because it's very easy to form bias after you communicate directly with them. It's just human.
That's very true.
What Mal said at the end of
I think more what problematic is just like the release timing, right?
Call with Sykkuno was off-putting, and it wouldn't have hurt for me to point that out. I get that. I was instead more focused on Sykkuno's admittance of guilt.
Yeah, I think that this statement for everybody is something that they're hung up on. Again, I think it's explainable, right? But it would definitely done him a favor if he would talked about it, right? Or mentioned that.
Sorry for letting you guys down in that regard. You trust me with a certain quality standard, and I just couldn't deliver it this time. And that's on me. I also want to apologize to Sykkuno's girlfriend. Sure. In the 17-minute video of the voice recording, there was one frame, which represents 1/60th of a second that wasn't blurred. And it leaked to the group chat she was in when she found out that Sykkuno had been cheating on her with multiple people. This frame was enough.
Well, Noob, I can understand that his crash out against Powder was kind of crazy, but I feel like he's got a reason for that. Like, I think he knows something we don't know. The lies that Sykkuno told showed that he was being manipulative, exploitive, and all-around terrible person, but that doesn't mean that the consent can be taken away. Wait, no. Are you still arguing about this tech quiz? Hold on. Time out. You cannot consent to something that is a lie. Can we stop for a second? Hold on. Time out. How do you consent to something that is a lie? He lied to them. It was under a false pretense. They're not trying to take consent away because consent was never there because he lied to them. It was under a false pretense. That makes no sense. Yeah, time out, hold on. I need an answer on this one. Yeah, informed consent goes out the window if you're informed falsely. Do you think that they would have done all the things they would have done knowing that he was single? Of course not. Of course not. You cannot consent under a false pretense. The dude lied about everything. When there's lies about relationship status and etc., there's imbalance of power, and it throws any consent that was given into question. Exactly. Yeah, that's not that's not consent. Like, this is the second message that I've seen from you that says that. So, like, dude, what are we still on about this? Like, that is a fact. There is no, I mean, real, I don't think there is any argument to say that they were able to properly consent. Yeah, most places legally it's not consent if there's lie, manipulation, fraud, or deal breakers withheld. Exactly. Like, even legally, right? So, I mean, I'm going to open it up to you if you want to argue against me, but please, like, this is very, you know, shut case for me about that part in particular. Now, Mujin made a weird fanfic about Powder, which implies she is just like Riri because the situation lays out as a copy of Riri's exposure. First comment assuming so much and talked to Powder. Maybe also because Powder once collabed with Evan, which he called into some video. Yeah, I don't know, leader. I will say that, what he said about Powder, and you know how I feel about this. What he said about Powder, instead of something that's given in the moment, however, oh my god, he won't respond to me. He won't respond to me! Different throwing out legal terms in court of law, acting on false pretense, cancels on prior consent, given it as a fact. Consent is something that's given in the moment. What? That's not even correct. Yeah, that's not even correct, dude. Okay, I'm gonna move on past this. My mind is blown right now. What's up, Tyler? How are you, cutie? So, what do I say about the Powder stuff, right? Because I've already shared this, but I'll share it again, right? Like, I don't like Powder, but I don't think the Mujin should have crashed out on her. You know, it's just not. It's not the right thing to do. There's two reasons, right? Number one, morally, that's just wrong, right? I don't think that you should be doing that in public. If you have a problem with somebody, you know, you can call them out in video or whatever you want to do, right? But you gotta have actual proof. So I do think that the entirety of his crash out wasn't right. And number two, why are you gonna do that with Powder and feed the troll? That's such a bad move, right? That's such a bad move. You could have just made a counter argument or ignored it. Exactly, leader. Exactly. It was not a good move for him to say anything about her. Really, really bad move on his part. And that's how I feel about it, right? Does he have some kind of stuff on Powder? I don't know. I have no idea, right? But he did not, but by the way, spoiler alert, he does not apologize to Powder in this video. Do I know the reason for that? I don't, but I feel like his opinion of Powder is very negative, which I can't say I blame him, right? That doesn't justify what he did, but I can't say that my opinion of her is very great either, right? I think that he's allowed to feel how he does about it, but his crash out wasn't warranted.
For certain individuals to confirm her username, and it impeded on her privacy. I was not the one who handled blurring it, but...
I mean, leader, again, I don't know how morally... You're gonna look at everything that Powder has done and be like, you know what? Yeah, that's somebody I want to support, but... Again, that's up to you. I can only give you the facts, and you can make the decision based on what you want. I mean, yes, nuance-wise, we can be like, yeah, Powder, you know, definitely didn't deserve that, but also that doesn't be like, oh, well, this one thing happened, so now Powder is completely clear of everything else, right? Like, no, not even close.
I still included the entire thing in my own video and completely missed that detail. So I take full responsibility for that. I'm sorry. Now look, with all that being said, apologies are great, but there's no use presenting them if there's no attempt to act on them. And that's exactly what I intend to do. But first, I want to go through some misinfo that was spread about me in recent days and set the record straight. When the video first released, XQC reacted to it almost immediately and would spend his time defending Sykkuno.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, Shadow. I think it's like a separate kind of thing, right? And maybe we'll go on to resolve it. I don't know. Guess we'll just
Undermine
see.
the things he's done to people. He would also comment on my video. In that comment, he'd make it seem like my problem with Sykkuno's behavior had to do with the lack of clout of the women he reached out to. In any case, what would happen next is a narrative that would form
you
saying that I
scared me, bro.
deleted
You
his comment
scared
because
me.
I couldn't handle his unparalleled wisdom. As you can see, that's false. It's still right here, along with all the wonderful comments left by his community too. I really don't know why he and some other content creators tried so hard.
I'm gonna be real, guys. YouTube comments, like, will randomly hide themselves. You could post something and it'll immediately go down. It's so
defend
stupid.
Sykkuno's behavior, as if he was their long-lost brother or something. All I know is that cheating has been shunned by humanity for thousands of years, regardless of gender. Maybe normalizing it now is probably a bad idea, but
It's illegal in the military too, right? Can't believe I edited a short for Lumi earlier, simping for your boobo. Wait, what? Wait, what? I mean, I believe it, but wait, what?
But hey, you're free to
Love
form your
that.
own opinion.
What's up, Scar? How are
and
you, kitty?
Go for it. Next, some people tried to claim that I changed my video's title because I was scared of a defamation lawsuit from Sykkuno.
Yeah,
Sure,
no, I knew you were
a
talking about
random lawyer
Luminous.
from Fiverr might claim
I love that.
but it's
We
false.
love Luminous.
Here's
How
a
are you,
neat trick.
sweetheart?
You can go to a website like viewstats.com, go to any channel, we'll pick, I don't know, Mr. Beast, click on a video, and you'll actually be able to see any thumbnail or title changes since upload.
Nah, Tech, it wouldn't. Yeah, it really would not. Because, again, that's why the statute of limitations exists. Yeah, the consent between Sykkuno and the various women in this scenario would certainly hold up. It wouldn't. Because remember, he lied to them. So, Tech, think about it this way, right? If somebody says, I'm single, and you engage in a relationship with them, and then they turn out to not be single, how could you have ever properly consented? You know what I mean? Like, how can you properly consent to something if they lie to you? There are not many crazies to meet Mujin apologize about her bad chance. I think that, I don't know, it did seem like Mujin kind of implied he has a video coming, so I'm going to wait on that one. I don't have too much to say about the apology part. I'm going to wait on that.
Pretty cool, right? Now, if you were to do that with my video, you'd see that there were no thumbnail or title changes whatsoever since upload. So that's false. And look, defamation is about
I mean, I'm glad he at
knowingly
least, like,
lying
said
about
something about
someone
it.
in order to ruin their
Yeah,
reputation.
nobody's going to court
I had
over
no
it,
intention
right?
of lying in my
It's
video about
definitely not.
Sykkuno. And if I did want to lie, then wouldn't I have just simply removed the last 2 minutes of Mal and Sykkuno's voice call so that she looks way better and he looks way worse? It just doesn't make sense. I never make
XQC
any
was
video
stupid.
with the intention of lying.
I'm sorry, XQC really, like, went on this tangent about stuff supporting, like, cheating and being a player numb. XQC is not numb. Absolutely not. I don't care how much nuance he applied to this and that. Nah, dude, that guy's cooked.
Period. And finally, when it comes to misinfo, there's also something else that honestly doesn't deserve attention at all, but I'll still mention it. And it's this weird rumor or fan fiction that some people made up saying that I only made this video to try and get with the women that were affected by Sykkuno's
Yeah, this was absolutely an insane one.
actions. Anyone who knows me or has ever spoken with me in the content creation sphere knows that I never even attempt to flirt. I keep things strictly professional. I take my platform very seriously and would never seek to use it in that way. It's simply not who I am. It's obviously also very disrespectful to anyone.
Yeah, like, that's a good point as well, Walk. What if somebody, like, let's say that Sykkuno had, like, a STD or something, right? And then he says, oh, I'm single, right? So you sleep with him, even though he's not. And you get an STD, right? Dude, you never can, there was no consent ever, right? Because he lied to you as under a false pretense.
Anyone who was hurt by Sykkuno's actions, but it's not like the people peddling
That could
these
be
rumors
extremely
cared about
damaging,
them
you
to begin
know?
with. All right, so next up we have the joint statement that was posted by Sykkuno and his girlfriend. The first half would be written by Sykkuno. In it, he'd reiterate that he lied to people about being single and that he has been unfaithful to his girlfriend. He'd apologize and say that he'd be taking a break from streaming in order to better himself. He'd also call out anyone trying to frame him with false accusations. So yeah, as you can see, not much has changed. He's already admitted to these things in the voice call with Mal. When it comes to false accusations though, yes, there are stories that have circulated for years.
Because I still consented in the moment. My consent is based on the information I'm told in the moment. Okay, so I think I get what you're saying. So you're saying that you consented in the moment. My consent is based on the information I'm told in the moment. But you're saying that, yes, you consented in that moment. But you got to understand that you can't properly consent because the information you're being told as a whole is incorrect. Does that make sense? So I feel like you're kind of maybe like splitting the hairs on what that means, but you got to understand that, yes, I guess you can be like, yes, in that moment, but that doesn't mean that the consent holds up overall because you've been lied to, right?
Among some VTubers that accuse Sykkuno of doing.
It's not actually really like, I think it's confusing with consent and saying like yes, right? Like you can say yes, but you're not actually consenting to it because it's based on a lie, right? I feel the deal breaker considers something basically if there's a deal breaker involved, that was withheld, the consent becomes invalid. Exactly.
Worse than cheating. At this point, though, it is not up to me to say whether it's true or not, just pointing out what he might be referring to. He could also be referring to the word predator, which I already apologized for. Now, the second half of this statement would be written by his girlfriend. She'd express how hard this has all been on her, and how hurt she felt over not having a choice on whether this went public or not, saying that she understands that many people were hurt, but that her feelings felt like they weren't really considered at all. She'd call out people who sought to use this incident for profit, and would say that even prior to this going public,
I'm really glad that Mujin is addressing this part because again, people are on this this thing about, oh well, the girlfriend. She had to consent to this, and it's like the girlfriend did not have to consent for other people to put out their stories, right? Is it a nice gesture of goodwill? Absolutely.
She was already trying to work through things with Sykkuno in order to repair their relationship together. She'd end her statement by saying that even with everything that has come out, she doesn't consider Sykkuno's actions irredeemable. She's going to stay with him and try to fix their relationship in spite of everything. Listen, I can't imagine what she's been through in just these last few weeks. Finding out that your boyfriend has been cheating on you for years, that he slept with someone as recently as December 2025 behind your back, and that he was still trying to arrange a meetup with someone else as you were already trying to fix your relationship after what had happened in December. I mean, seriously, it's just insane.
It's a hair split to make this look bad. What do you mean? Now you're the one splitting hairs about what, sweetheart? Alright, I've said like 5,000 different things in like the span of 5 minutes. So, you have to be more specific. I'm sorry. Oh, this would have been made public regardless, which is the sad truth. It's true. Oh, you're talking about the consent thing, right? Or you're talking about getting the permission from the girlfriend, right? His girlfriend is okay. Had permission, but not needed, but nice. I did not ask her girlfriend. Then got you. No, I mean that's true. It's absolutely true. It's nice to ask the girlfriend, but it's not a requirement to share your own experience. I don't really see how that's splitting hairs. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't see how that's splitting hairs. And again, I think that we talked about this more yesterday, but I'll bring up the same argument here in just a second. But if you have a problem, right? If you have your own issues that you've had, right? You should be allowed to bring those up to the public, right? If somebody else is like the main victim or has some kind of issue, I think it's a nice courtesy to tell them what's going on, but that should not invalidate the ability to bring up your own issue. And then we had two actual arguments against this yesterday, which we talked about which one was more important. And so there's two morality choices here, right, chat? There's two choices to make about this whole situation. So here we go. I'm gonna actually put these on screen again. So here is argument number one. You guys ready? Argument number one is right here. Argument number one has to do with the girlfriend, right? So moral-wise, do you want to check in with a girlfriend and make sure that she is okay with you putting this out? This is moral argument number one. Or we have moral argument number two, which is exposing. Do you think the moral argument is more important to expose what he's done to protect other people? For me, I choose this one. I think it's more important to expose what he's done so the damage is not continued across potential other victims, etc., right? I think that this one will always be more important in the weight of morality than the first one. And some people might feel differently, and that's fine, right? Everybody's got a different moral compass, but I don't think it's splitting hairs. I think it's your moral compass, right? And I can totally see it that way, JC. I can totally see it. So, if you're going to talk about how they feel bad and care about the girlfriend in the situation, they should at least warn her about him. I'll talk to the girlfriend before so she has no excuses. But again, leader, why are they required to do that? Why is it a requirement? Yeah, Wapper, I don't really know about that one. Like, you're making it out that it had to be a requirement. I'm just weird to me that everybody's saying how much her girlfriend matters, only ignore her feelings after her statement. Gabe, I think what everybody is saying is the girlfriend is the only one that matters because she's the one that's having to deal with it, you know? Like, directly right now. I mean, besides the victims, right? She's the one that's having to deal with all of this coming out, the feelings, etc., right? So, yes, she is a really, really important one, but also, at the same time, the victims are important as well. You know what I mean? I agree, JC. Go to girlfriend's friend or confidant, there might be expectation, loyalty due to trust and friendship. Most people don't have the obligation. Yeah, there's no requirement that they talk to the girlfriend about this, right? Really, the more moral obligation is to inform everybody what's going on because that's worse. Like, yes, I feel bad for the girlfriend, and I really do hope that everything that she's going through, she's able to resolve it. You know, with Sykkuno, they're able to work it out and stuff like that, but she's decided to stay with them, right? And that's her choice. That doesn't mean the other victims are not allowed to speak about their experiences, and pretending like you're not allowed to share your experience because you didn't get the girlfriend's, I don't know, I guess consent or whatever, right? Makes no sense. Again, it's a courtesy, not a requirement. And I feel like everybody, it's like, oh, it's a requirement, it's a requirement. Like, no, it's not. If I went through something really bad, right? Let's say that I went through a particular really bad whatever, right? And, you know, it's about somebody's friend or whatever. I should still be able to talk about it. I don't have to check with that friend. Where to girlfriend is staying because she doesn't have any other choice. It's not our place to judge, you know? Exactly, like, if this information was never released, this would still be going on, right? 4 people could have been continued victims or suffer, etc. Again, I think the whole argument of, like, the girlfriend, you know, at the max, I cannot. I have no idea what it was, Antique. You can repost it. Exactly, you still be cheating. You still be cheating. Yeah, you can repost it. Like, how's her girlfriend a factor? She is going through stuff with him. Feel free, but it's irrelevant, yeah. I'm fine with exposing it, but there is no excuse on why they couldn't have warned her when Mal and others had the capability to do so. Main focus of the drama, so I think she deserves to know about it. I'm saying it's a requirement to talk to her and listen to her on exposing it, just because she doesn't want it. Of course, it's not black and white. Yeah, I mean, it's a courtesy, right? It's a courtesy. But also, I think maybe their thought process is just they wanted to leave her alone and just let her decide what she wants to do. Like, their relationship, whatever they decide between each other, isn't really their business, right? In my perception, I think that Mujin's thought process was, this is about Mal. I feel bad that this is going on for the girlfriend, and I hope that she gets what she needs and it's resolved and etc. But my report is about Mal, not about the girlfriend, right? That's at least how I see it. Yo, Nate, thank you for the 20, dude. What the fuck? Dude, thank you so much for the 20. I appreciate you. Damn, what the hell, dude? Thank you so much. Let's fucking go. What a gamer chat. Oh, no. I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, exactly. Didn't expose the girlfriend either. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. Didn't fucking hit my joke. Right in the head, dude. Thank you so much, Nate. I appreciate your support, man. Thank you so much. Huge W to Nate. Let's get some W's in the chat for Nate, guys. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. You're crazy. Thank you so much, man. Because a lot of people would never come forward because of the said, exactly. It's, oh, you're good, Antique. No worries, right? Yeah, you're good. Honestly, I think that the women accused them pretty much shooting themselves in the foot. They make others who were affected not want to speak. No, I think it's the opposite. I think that other people speaking about it has caused more people to come out about it. Yes, I think it's actually the opposite. Let me reread your message, Joe, because I got it over here. I think it's honestly women who accuse them pretty much shooting themselves in the foot. it's going to make others who are affected not want to speak out because of that much women involved poisoning the well forever when it calls Sykkuno out. I don't think so. Yeah, I think the more people have come out because of this, you know? I agree with the fact they did mean to tell their girlfriend about the dog since it affected other people. I'm teaching you audition, and you're trying to talk about multiplication, yeah. The girlfriend didn't want to put out there, so it never would have come out. True. I mean, going by what we saw earlier as well in this one, I know that she said that she got the girlfriend's, or at least, like, talked to her, but it didn't sound like that she, I don't know, I'm only reading between the lines, but it sounds like she didn't really want it out there anyway. Yeah, and everybody that came out and talked about it, they were all played by this guy anyway. Is it maybe I haven't seen it that much on my end compared to Yusuf here? Yeah, I mean, Mista, I've been seeing all of it in all, what, 19-ish victims?
But I do think this needs to be said. The fact that this went public is unfortunate, but people were genuinely hurt by Sykkuno lying to them that he was single. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion at this point. Let me know.
Yeah, I think it gave people
if you think it is, but if someone lied to me about being single, and I later found out that us having sex directly hurt their partner, made them depressed, and ruined or at least endangered a 5-year-long relationship, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. On top of that too, let's see, like, you would get more like a actual physical danger, right? Like an STD or something like that as well. That could be entirely a possibility. And I would feel horrible knowing that I slept with somebody that was in a relationship.
That's simply not what I would have signed up for. And seeing that he's a public figure who used this public standing to get with these women after lying to them, it felt like this going public was going to be inevitable. But that doesn't mean that her feelings are not valid, because they are. When it comes to me, I did have a hand in...
I think that we need to just say this out loud really quick, chat. I think that both can be true. I think that her feelings can be valid, but also the victims should be allowed to share how they feel, right? I think one is more important than the other. I think the way the situation was handled didn't help the other victims because of how rushed it was, in my opinion. Sure, and I mean, you're allowed to, that's your opinion, you're allowed to that, right? That's on the outside looking in, thankfully, it's still looking like people are dragging, and people aren't important to the points at hand. Just getting shipped away from focus from Sykkuno. Absolutely. That's all that's been going on for the past X amount of days, Moonlight. People are just dragging other people, going after Mujin, victim blaming, etc. And it just takes away the focus from Sykkuno.
Spreading this to the public by releasing my video so quickly, and I simply had no right to do so, and for that, I am sorry. Now, I've seen some people's reactions to this announcement, and yeah, as you might expect, it's not sunshine and roses. This whole topic has been extremely polarizing on the internet to begin with, and the girlfriend in particular is getting hate thrown her way with people calling her things like gold digger or Stockholm Syndrome victim for not leaving him. Here's the thing.
Yeah, it's her choice what she wants to do.
What matters here is that Sykkuno stops his serial cheating streak and that he stops lying to women about him being single while turning them into homewreckers against their will. That's it. If she wants to stay, that's her choice. She doesn't deserve to get nasty things said about her, though. I wish her the best, and I again would like to apologize if I directly contributed to any harm that she might have gone through. That was not my intention. Look, ultimately, my favorite YouTuber growing up was PewDiePie. Yeah, I enjoyed his sense of humor.
Hey, what's up, Rose? How are you?
For the longest time, he was the sole runner of his channel, which gave him so much authenticity. But most of all, what I really liked about him was that he was not ashamed of being human. He would make mistakes, but when he would, he'd also sincerely apologize and work to learn from them. It's no secret that today, as a content creator, if you were to make a mistake, it would be so much easier to wait for it to die down in a week and then continue business as usual, as if nothing had happened.
Absolutely.
I was even advised by some to do exactly that and not release this video. And I understand why. It unfortunately works. But to me, it's simply the right thing to do, even if it leads to more scrutiny and people disliking me. I screwed up, I'm going to say sorry, and I will improve. So what am I going to change exactly?
I mean, dude, this is literally a perfect apology. I screwed up. There's some things I want to improve. I'm going to do that, and do better in the future. And I think the only thing here is just hold him accountable for doing those things, right? I think this is a great apology. I'm be real, like, it's very to the point. It points out, this is what I did wrong. This is why I thought this, but I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm sorry. This is what I'm going to do in the future. This is a good apology video.
Exactly. Well, to start, I'll never give another exception to a scoop or exclusive info. I will do what I've always done on this channel and talk about things that have already played out in public. I don't care if a 5-star general
mean,
gives
all
me
you gotta
info
do is-
about World War III
all you
starting
can do is
tomorrow.
hold him to
I
it
will
for the
make the
future.
video after the nukes drop. I also realize now just how much you guys value my objectivity. I understand that I'm not perfect at it, and I probably never will be, but I'll always strive to present information to you in the most balanced way possible so that you can, in the end, form your own opinion. And finally, no matter how much this channel grows, I'll always
I
ask
agree,
you to be
Dan.
honest with me, and I promise to take accountability when needed, just like
I
how
mean,
I'm
he-
doing right
To be fair, too, he missed it. You know, it's an honest mistake, but it does suck.
So look, if the last video was a deal breaker for you and you want to unsubscribe, then I completely understand. But I won't let you leave without thanking you first. Take care, and may our paths cross again someday. On the other hand, if you're planning to
I
stick
mean,
around
that's a
for
fair
future
take
content,
as well, Matt.
then I'd like to thank you so much for allowing me to make a mistake and grow from it. I say this all the time when I stream, but not a day goes by where I take any of this for granted. And the fact that so many of you watch me, whether you're driving home, chilling at work, doing chores, knitting, or just eating, I'm so honored to be able to make your day a bit less mundane with my videos. It's truly a blessing. Thank you. I also would like to thank my Discord mods, my friends, and my viewers who reached out during this time. It meant a lot.
I'm sure he's been
and
getting
I really
absolutely
appreciate it. The
real.
Sykkuno video was live for a week, so I'll keep this video live for a week as well. However, I do plan to private the original video as soon as this video gets uploaded.
I think it's a smart move as well because, number one, like, you don't feel like it's your best work. Number two, there's some things in there that are kind of like iffy. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna private it. I think that's a smart move. I think that was the way to go. I mean, all we can do is hold him accountable for that, you know? I know a lot of people will be like, it wasn't needed, and I can understand that viewpoint, but I'll be honest, I think apologizing, like, okay, I think a lot of people have a problem with apologizing, you know what I mean? Like, so many people are always like, oh yeah, you know, you bent the knee, you're weak for doing that, but I'll be honest, I find a lot of respect in that. I think my trust in Mujin has waned, but I honestly hope he doesn't fall into a situation like this, or else I probably would have stopped watching his channel. Hope for the best of him. This apology was made better than that terrible tweet he made. After Sykkuno made his response, I just hope for improvement. Sure, and that's a very fair way to look at it. That's exactly, I think, how I'll look at it as well. I'm just gonna hold him accountable, and that's it.
I hope to be back sooner rather than later, continuing to make videos that you enjoy at the level of quality that you expect.
Yeah, I think I have
As
more
always,
respect
thank you so much for watching until
for
the
doing
end,
it, right?
and I'll be sure to see you in the next video, whenever that is.
Yeah, I do really hope that he'll do like an update because
Your
there was so
boyfriend-
much stuff, right? I do want to go look at something really quick. Let me see if I can find it here really fast. Yeah, exactly, exactly, madness. Absolutely. If some of them apologize, they have to accept weakness and defeat something that narcissists can never accept. But the other part that kind of upsets me a lot too is like, okay, so you get called out for making a mistake, right? Mujin made a mistake. I mean, he admits that, right? He says, okay, so I made a mistake right here, etc., right? And then he goes on to put on an apology. And everybody's like, oh, that's not good enough. Like, which one is it, dude? You want an apology, but it's not good enough now? Like, I don't know. It always feels like whatever you do, it's never enough. For me, it's apologize to Powder to extend that even her name is banned in his comments unless you spell it differently. I check all my comments with her name were deleted, but other people confirmed, so I can't fully forgive him until he does that. If he wants to be a good guy, takes accountability, and he has to do it fully for me. Except if hey, that's just me. I don't know if I want to get into this argument later. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I want to get into this argument. I'm gonna be real. Yes, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess that's an argument, right? Does he have to apologize to somebody that really morally cannot argue? You know what I mean? I guess that's a question. I mean, for me, like, okay, so if I'm Mujin, I would be like, look, I'm sorry, Powder, that I said that. That was out of line. But don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I got some things that I do want to talk about, and I will be putting out a video, right? So, I guess that's all. That would be my thing, right? But you're putting way too much in a Powder who says horrible things regularly. I mean, she does. what do you mean? Like, I don't know. It's the matter of being the better person. Yeah, and again, that's how I would do it. I don't think he would say that. I mean, he didn't say that, so I don't think it's a thing of he would say that. He didn't say that. But I guess we just have to see what he does do. My guess, if I can swing for the, oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, if I'm going to swing for the fences here, guys, I'll tell you. I didn't want to have to think about apologies. Feel like people should follow what Asmongold said about it. Don't apologize for something you deeply feel bad about. It's shameful and hope to improve from your actions and saying that what you want about Roachman, but I strongly follow that kind of mindset, sure. Here's what I'm going to say, chat. Here's my swing for the fences. If it was for me, I'm really look powder. I shouldn't have said that. It was out of line. I was very upset about what was going on, and I really don't like you, clearly, and so that's kind of it for me, right? And I apologize. I said that wasn't very professional. But what I will say is that there's a lot of other horrible, etc. things that you've done, questionable things, etc. that I'm going to make a video about in the future, and that's it. And I will, you know, put that out there. That would be what I would do. Now, my guess, chat, is the reason he didn't apologize to her is because he has some stuff that he's going to share in a video. That's going to be my swing for the fences. And maybe he just honestly feels that way. Maybe he knows stuff we don't know, right? I mean, like, I will say that Patter said that she was not in some kind of interracial relationship, and that was kind of weird, right? That was really, really weird. So I guess we'll just see. All we can do is wait. This shows me wrong even more because he really banned her name in the comments, so it's worse than that. I mean, leader, can you really blame him? I mean, can you really blame him? If he doesn't want to associate with somebody or talk about them in the comments, that's his prerogative, right? I mean, he said so. He said that he had a video coming, right, Nid? So I don't know, Captain. I don't know. I don't know why we keep going on Powder, like, about this whole thing. Like, he's such a small part of it that really is just a detraction from the entirety of it, right? We should be talking about what Sykkuno's done, right? Yeah, that as well. I don't know. I see your viewpoint of wanting to be like, hey, like, you shouldn't have said that about Powder. I get that, but also simultaneously existing on a pathway that runs parallel to that one. Why are we sitting here defending Powder? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess both can exist. Yeah, I think he hasn't apologized for it, and maybe he's not sorry, and that's not exactly bad. I mean, either he's not sorry or he's going to release some information that vindicates his statement, right? I would say in that particular regards to that, hold on to it. Put it up on the shelf, wait until we get a little bit more about it. It's good. How are you doing, blow up? Yeah, as the St. Patrick's release, you know, important thing. I'm not defending, I didn't say you were defending anybody. At least not you in particular. I don't know why you're applying that to yourself, but more power to you, bro. I have a feeling Powder just won a clap from this engagement. Mujin, nothing more, nothing else, probably. Can I ask, like, how are we going to blame Bao for any of this? Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't get that either. Yeah, I don't know why you applied that to yourself. I mean, again, if you're a Powder fan, you do you, bro. I would, again, I've stated this very clearly, I would question your morality looking at all the things that we've looked at, but you do you, bro. I can't change your mind. Oh, okay. Hitting your name is just to cut off the feeding. Probably so, probably so. I mean, it's a smart move. I'll be real. So anyway, I do want to point out, I said I wasn't going to talk about Powder, but I will just at least point out here that Powder did go on to say that, yeah, you know, Mujin wouldn't dare apologize to anybody. He wasn't politically aligned with him, even it's the right thing to do. But, like, it doesn't have anything to do with politics. Why are we dragging politics into this? It has nothing to do with politics, Powder. Yeah, zero to do with politics. It's very personal, actually. I guess we'll see, chat. Yeah, I guess we'll see on that one. I'm gonna go look at Mujin's, you know, stuff here, right? Let's see what's happened the past couple days. So, looking at his subscribers, right? He had a lot of jumps. Ever since his stuff came out, you know, he's definitely had some dips. But I think overall, it does seem to be a positive. So, you know, with daily averages his last 22 days, last 14 days. So, I mean, doesn't look like he's really dropped a lot, guys. Yeah, I don't think this, I don't think it's really hit Mujin in like a big way, you know what I mean? It seems like he's doing fine on his subscribers, so. I mean, it did dip a little bit, right? But what is that, 4,000 total? Doesn't seem like this really smacked him that hard. But I think in a way this also kind of tells you the general viewpoint of how everybody treated the situation, right? I think that it's really important to look at Twitter and how things are, I don't know if it's happening or not. I think it was really insane claim to make Powder. I think they're criticized before, but it's very over the top, sure. Also could have ignored her and avoided the crash out. Yeah. Again, I think it was a mistake for him to acknowledge her in this. I agree with that. Kind of shows it just people on Twitter. Yep. And that's why I like to talk about what other websites are doing or treating the situation, right, chat? This isn't just a Twitter thing, right? Like, yes, there's a little bit over on YouTube, but it seems like it's mostly just Twitter. If you go on Reddit, pretty much most people are very, you know, supportive of the other victims sharing their thought processes, etc., right? So I think it's just a Twitter thing, you know? Because I know bringing in politics will turn an interpersonal drama into ideological one and emotionally activate her followers. I mean, real Captain, that's too big brain for me, bro. Like, you're probably right, but I don't think, I'll tell you when it comes to, you know, political stuff, that ain't my thing. I just have different views on certain things. Sure, absolutely. You brought up PewDiePie and is similar to the bridge incident. I don't really see this affecting Mujin at all in the long run. I think so as well. I mean, if you're saying Elara, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs. Who are you, the fucking tab police? I think that a lot of people dogged on him, right? If you look at all the people from like YouTube, you had like Tactone going on him, you had like legal kind of throwing up some stuff out there as well. I don't think this really hit him. You know, I really, really don't. Yes, there's nothing. And again, I feel like this docu really made Sykkuno look a lot worse. Really a lot worse. So chat, how do you feel about this one? What's your thoughts? Yeah, what's your thoughts on this one, chat? Sensitive Society came up. Sensitive Society came after him as well. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that did, right? Yeah, you know, Dragon, I don't know what's going on lately with legal, because like I used to look at him for a lot of stuff, and I still do, right? Because I like his opinion, or at least maybe not his opinion, but his insight. I don't know. There's been some stuff like where he defended Tectone. I was very shocked by that. His only view in this pattern thing is when the mass says to ignore, but if she gets a number she gets, I mean, she is not being ignored. Here's the thing, Bloom. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna explain this to you, all right? Because I feel like this is a really good eye opener for everybody, right? So let me ask you a question, everybody here, including you as well, Bloom. Who here watches VTubers? Type 1 in the chat if you watch VTubers, chat. You're all gonna type 1 because you're watching me, but you probably watch other people as well. So the argument is not far-fetched to say that you were more ingrained in VTuber going-ons, right? Whether it be drama or whether it be what people say, you might follow them on Twitter. You guys are more engaged and knowledgeable of what's going on with VTubers, right? So as a VTuber fan, you are probably more familiar with the things that Powder has said and done. Let me ask you a question really quick. If you're familiar with Powder's, you know, shaky, rocky past and, you know, questionable ethics and morality and other stuff that she said, type 2 in the chat. If you're not, that's totally okay. But I'm sure a lot of you are going to type 2. You're probably pretty familiar, right? Even if you've never used Twitter. Rep says that's who's made videos on. It's not just me openly talking about it. There's people that's made videos on it, right? So, a lot of people here will say they're knowledgeable of it, and you guys are involved in VTubing. So here, Blue, here is what I want you to do for a second. I want you to pretend to be a normie. I want you to pretend that you've never watched VTubers, or you slightly interact with VTubers, and you're just a normal person. You watch very basic normie streamers, right? I don't know. Just pick whoever you want, right? Those people, on average, don't know about Powder's shaky, rocky, questionable history, etc., right? They don't know that. On the outside looking in, they view Powder as edgy. And that is why she continues to get the interaction that she does. She's edgy. To them. They don't know. They don't know. They have no idea. They're just like, oh, wow, she's edgy and she speaks her mind. That's cool. Follow, go watch and support, right? They're not aware. And that's why. In my perception, that's what I think it is. Does that make sense? So I think it's a pretty good explanation. I think a lot of people would agree with that, right? Like a lot of people that are familiar with her are just kind of trying to look from the outside in. People who probably only watch Hall Live and don't keep up with the indie scene, yeah, absolutely. I watch Froggy Lock. I think I actually feel under normie. Yeah, fair enough. Tourists wouldn't care more than what they need to enjoy more drama. Truth be damn true. Yeah, no, she's definitely changed a lot. I mean, I've told you, I used to watch her. I mean, I liked her content. She did a lot of soul stuff. She was fun to hang around, but you know, there's been long-standing dramas, and I'm not gonna dive into all that again, guys. I'm so tired of talking about Powder over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I don't like to feed the troll at this point. It is what it is. I don't know much about her other than the racist stuff. Her political stuff got more rage baity. I just ignore that. I think mostly says stuff like that just to get a reaction. It's honestly why calling Powder any harsh names just for the fire ain't worth it. Exactly. Don't feed the troll. That's what I live under, right? All I'm gonna do is tell you, well, here's what I think, and this is based on, you know, history of stuff, and that's kind of it. So, you know, inform yourself and make your own opinion, right? I can't tell you what to do or how to feel with her. Just do what you're gonna do. I generally somehow manage to avoid much drama, all because I don't follow many VTubers and prefer smaller ones like you. Yeah, it's fine. We can agree to disagree. Yeah, I mean, again, I will question your morality, right? Of course, looking at the things that have happened, right? But, yeah, I mean, we can agree to disagree. It's the same with, like, Cinder, right? Like, I'll agree to disagree. I think that her morality wasn't great, but, I mean, it's fine, right? Like, I love Pyro Pup Cinder. They're great. I love them so much. I mean, I'm imperfect because I regret beefing the Pyro Pups in the past. I learned my lesson. Yeah, don't go after the Pyro Pups. Just don't go after anybody, you know? Unless, my rule is that unless somebody is 100% really bad or really wrong, don't go after them. You better have the proof to back yourself up if you're gonna go after somebody, you know? They gotta be really, really bad. They gotta be really, really shitty. They gotta be like, you know, racist, transphobic, bigotry, that kind of stuff, right? Those are the things where it's like, yeah, you're really bad. Playing no amount of stuff through you, and I wouldn't touch the rest of the space with a 10.5-foot pole. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I like Pyro Pup Center as well. They're very sweet. I talk to them quite often. Easier to catch flies with honey than the vinegar. Yeah, vinegar. That's the one. And others miscommunication is the mildest of sins. Absolutely. This whole thing is just yeah, I don't know, chat. I don't know. Sometimes come here for community games, including riff tracks. But we never play community games. What do you think? Lolly, miss you too. Oh, I miss Lalia. How's Lalia doing? I love Lalia. She's so sweet. And there's some people that I haven't interacted with in so long. Lalia is one of them. I miss her so much. She was such a good beam. I wonder if she dealt with all the Adora stuff as well. Wild. So chat, I'm kind of in an impasse here. We got like a We got like an hour 16 left. Should I keep streaming? Yeah, like what? Should I keep streaming our gaming stuff, or should I try to roll the time over to tomorrow? What do you think? We do community day every Wednesday. Oh, nice. I need to go by streams. Yeah, what should I do, chat? Should I don't know. This is tough. Yeah, should I just roll it over to tomorrow, or should I keep streaming? Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. What is your best for your voice? I mean, I'm still gonna stream regardless, right? So Arby's is in your future, bro. Get the fuck up. Yeah, my only worry is it's gonna interrupt the collab. That's my worry about it, guys. That's my worry about it. I don't wanna interrupt this collab. That's my only worry about this whole thing, right? So what time does the sub at? 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds. Yeah, that's my actual only worry, guys. So just a little bit less work if you're not streaming. That's true. Subs on that 30 seconds. Yes, they do. I left it on 30 seconds for a while. I just left it. I was like, that's fine, whatever. It's 10 seconds. No, I left it on 30 ever since we did double time. Yeah, I just left it there. I was like, whatever. Yeah, I left it on there for a while. Hey, let's hit that yoinky sploinky. Yeah, I just like left it. I'm like, that'd be nice to you guys. So, all right, well, I guess we will. I don't want to interrupt the collab, so I think we'll just raid out, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you. I'm actually gonna be playing with Yuriko here in a bit, guys. We're gonna be playing with a bunch of people Super Battle Golf. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you all tomorrow for some more VTuber news. We're gonna catch up on Indeed, all kinds of other stuff. So appreciate you all coming out with us. I'm just going tomorrow. No, it's right now. Yeah, it's in 15 minutes. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have fun. With Yuriko. Take care. Okay, thanks for talking about this with me. Appreciate all of you. See you tomorrow, okay? Blah, blah, blah. See you at Yuriko stream. And then tomorrow for VTuber news, okay? Bye, everybody. Have fun with Yuriko. Bye, YouTube. Thanks, y'all. Bye, Twitter.